How's it going, everybody? We appreciate you tuning in. Right, it's
Hi,
another one of
everybody.
these.
Fuck you guys. How about that?
Totally. I don't know. We're gonna
Fuck
keep.
all those audience members we
We
have.
don't need no daddies. We don't need no mommies watching that. This particular episode was brought to you by uh another French pastry with cream
Oh,
inside.
nice.
Mm.
Got one there. I can't see. It's very tiny. Good. Sounds good.
Could you see it?
I saw you eating something. It's real small, but I'm glad you did it. What's that? That strawberry?
Hmm. Yep. Strawberries on top, and there's like cream inside it.
All right, I'm a famous comedian. I have like a following of about six here in Seattle. I've performed all over the world in Austin, Texas. Well, that's about it, really. I haven't really gone anywhere. But anyway, I'm kind of a local legend. My friend Bruce Bennett made a movie about me. We're about to watch it. And backstory: JD hates Bruce, so the main highlight of the movie is just to enjoy the
We
criticism.
we don't hate. Nobody hates anybody.
No one hates anyone. God knows no hatred, only love.
We just improv and make improv
True
real.
story, though. A little fun. You know how they do fun fact?
Oh, you can sound. I can hear you way better now.
Oh, cool, cool. I'm glad. I don't know why, but anyway, fun fact for the audience that we don't have yet, but I wanted to let you know that I don't know, you guys are on computers a lot right now. We're kind of on computers are actually responsible for the actual all the problems we have, mental illnesses and our problems with fires. So we would have none of that to think without computers that stare at all day long. So in honor of that, I want to praise computers for causing all the mental illness we have. I actually feel sick whenever I'm on the computer more than 25 minutes because they beam some kind of rays through specifically through Facebook.
That's why I line all my beanies with tinfoil.
Yes, exactly. Because I gotta wear a tinfoil hat. Because
Just
remember now,
line your hat with tinfoil. Nobody'll
any
know.
anything that's true is also crazy. Okay. All right, let's see
Sometimes
what
the
you think
best
of this
things
movie.
are
This is
put
about
right.
me. This is about me and all the people in the Northwest, all the
This is
big
a
comedy towns. This is Bruce.
Seattle short film.
Put a lot of effort into it, so I respect the effort.
Now we can
Yeah.
watch it if it doesn't get messed up. It looks like it works.
I hate it already. Do you? Ah, I do not keep it in my car. I occasionally take it out to take to the garbage, to the dumpster, because our we have one garbage can, but I don't like to fill it with cat litter, so I take some garbage to the large dumpster down the street, down the block, about half a block. But what I do is I take it to the car, I put it in the trunk, and then I forget about it for a few weeks. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. What was I really gonna do is try to talk about how I really feel about these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's hard to talk about, so I don't think I'll be able to do it. I don't have a brother or a sister or a fucking cousin or a dad or a mom or anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like what comedy is. It's like this family. It's like this terrible, terrible family that you never wanted or asked for, and then who do they do what a family's supposed to do? Stop you from being able to do what you want to do. Sarah's an amazing gal. Perfect. Perfect in every way. Yeah. Yeah. She did a good job in your movie. Yeah. She did probably the best performance of anybody in it, I think. Right? She actually said something funny, and then she actually talked about my actual comedy. I mean, you would think actually comedians would be interested in comedy, but that's actually a misconception. They're not really interested in comedy at all. That's the weird thing. It's really interesting because it's ultimately an honor. It's supposed to be an honor. You've found some way to ruin that somehow, which is, I guess, the point. You know what I mean? You know, also, after all I've been through in comedy, what's wrong with like an hour-long film about me getting my dick sucked? You know what I mean? Like, why is that so fucking bad? Jason is my ultimate influence in comedy, like the number one person who I've discussed jokes with the most, discussed our performances the most. So he's my number one influence in the performance of comedy since I started. But he's also the number one negative influence because he doesn't believe in himself. As you know, I hate Robbie Schrader. It's this new thing I've been working on. It's a new project. You know what I mean? Like, I hate him. Like Hitler hates Jews. Like, that's how bad I hate Robbie Schrader. You know what I mean? But normally then I would hate anyone who likes Robbie Schrader. You know what I mean? Anyone who's like strong associated with anyone who would be attracted or associated to him as a person, I would hate. Like you or somebody or Jason, because that's like his best friend, you know. But Jason, you know, we are somehow friends. You know what I mean? Which is it's good. It's almost like people becoming friends, like of different races. You know what I mean? You know, like when a ghetto black guy and a rich white guy become friends. You know, those touching stories, you know, where they become friends. So that's kind of like that, you know. I'd like you to edit out all of Blake Kiltoff. You know, when I met Blake, when I first met Blake, I remember right away I was like, this is someone I'd like to never get to know. You know what I mean? What a cunt. You know what I mean? You know, what a big cunt he is. He knows he's a big cunt. No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He gave me that opportunity to do a feature set there. Sorry I let him down. I was real bad that night. It was just no good. You know what about Andy that I like? Andy has the makeup. In baseball or football, they talk about there's this thing in scouting. They call it makeup. So your makeup is so like you have skills, right? So like you go, like in comedy, skills would be like delivers a joke good, or you like writer, or a great performer, or good at acting out, or physicality, or anything you can name. It's like a skill in comedy. The makeup is whether you have the mental breakdown of what it takes to actually succeed at it. So in sports, there's players who have all the skills, but they don't have the mental makeup, the like fortitude or whatever, the combination of mental qualities to make it to that level. You know what I mean? So I think Andy has it, and I kind of don't seem to have it. I don't believe I said this, but he said, it's possible I have a bad memory, but he said when I first said him, I said, are you a Mexican? You know what I mean? And that was maybe kind of rude, but he was at a Mexican buffet at the time, you know what I mean? And also, every time I've seen Joe Gomez, he's always was just at a Mexican buffet, or he's on a way to a Mexican buffet, so that might have something to do with it. You know what's funny about Mike Parker? Ever since that incident that's in the movie, we've become closer as friends. You know what I mean? Like, I like him now, kind of like him now. You know, he's more vulnerable, he'll hug me and stuff. He's like a soft little faggot, you know? But on the movie, he's terrible. It's this giant head, and he's just being terrible and mean and lying, you know, lying about what happened too, you know? Armani Jones? You know, I thought we were going to be best friends, you know, when we first met, you know? You know, that's what's sad about that movie is all these people, they were going to, I thought I was going to be friends with them, but it just didn't work out because I just don't like comedians. He's a surprisingly thoughtful guy, you know? We actually have a lot in common. I think he's like kind of crazy and paranoid. You know what I mean? A little bit paranoid, you know? But hey, if they're really out to get you, are you paranoid? You know? He liked my Nazi dog joke. He put a good performance for you. It's always good to have people in your movie who you barely know. Oh yeah, he kind of did the same fucking, oh my god, I can't handle it! I'm soft! It's pretty funny. At least he tries to do something about the scene, you know, like the politics of the scene and the censorship and stuff. At least he cares about that. Sometimes I think he cares about it in a way that I don't quite agree with. In other words, I don't think it's about caring for people or people's feelings or anything like that. I think he mischaracterizes as that. You know what I mean? It's not because they're weak and soft, it's because they have a specific anti-another group agenda. You know what I mean? Like you said, when you characterize it as racist, they go, the idea is that they're like, we can't handle hearing things we don't want to hear. No, it's not that. They viciously can want to control what other people want. It's not about like being, you know, nice or kind. But other than that, at least he cares.
In June 2020, the one person no one expected to see again broke quarantine to produce the only comedy show in Seattle on the public stage in Volunteer Park. Many refused to attend, not for fear of the virus though. They were afraid of being associated with anyone who had been canceled. It was the first time live stand-up comedy had been performed in Seattle in 3 months because of political instability and an abundance of misinformation brought on by the arrival of the information singularity. To this day, no one can agree why the world shut down. Casey Judson was one of the first comedians to accept the invite. He and others gathered around the amphitheater once a week, regardless of the two fears, COVID protocols and the virus. It was a lively, charged, intense period.
Casey Judson is comedy in motion. His unique sense of perspective allows him to spin comedy from the ordinary to the extraordinary. No pressure, Casey.
I haven't been getting along that well with my girlfriend, so I'll like find things and find reasons to stay late, you know, at the house I'm remodeling, you know. We're like, I'm out here till 11 at night, you know, and then finally I'll drive home, you know, and I'll pull into my garage, you know, and then I'll close the garage, and then I'll turn on some music, and I'll think about like dying for like 20 minutes, you know, and then I realize you can actually die just from doing that, you know. Because you'll run out of air. Be careful, because if you do that, people will think you committed suicide, but they won't know you're just like really dumb and forgetful. Yeah, leave a note if you're going to do it. No, don't kill yourself. They made me say that. I have to say that. I can't recommend that, you know.
I don't really remember meeting Casey, but I do remember pissing him off for the first time. And I said, "You're not a real person, Casey." He was like, "I'm not a real person?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you're not real." And I'm just fucking with him, and he gets like personally offended. And then he forgave me like 4 days later, but you know, he forgave me, and I moved on.
He asked me if I was Mexican. That was like the first thing he said to me. I thought that was kind of odd. I asked him if he was homeless, and it was a friendship born out of that, I guess. I still don't know if he's homeless.
Met Casey at open mic. He was special. He bombed so effortlessly. Just didn't give a fuck. I laughed my ass off.
Jai Tai at the open mic, he was a spectator. I was back before he got better at comedy than me.
But there's more than just a few psychotics in the audience. It's an open mic for stand-up comedy in Seattle. So Casey Judson's here. You count for like 5 psychotics. So.
All the comedians are under the impression that Casey Judson is dead. Well, because I told them. Some were told Casey died drinking and driving. Others, kidney failure. And one, suicide. 3 believed it. 1 was on the fence. And the rest saw straight through the lie.
Can you cut the camera real quick? I didn't know he was still alive.
Damn, dude, I didn't even know that, dude. That's crazy, man. I just saw him last night, dude. We were just hanging out last night, and he had a killer set too, man.
It sounded like exciting news at first, but then it was just like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
What did you think of the way that he chose to kill himself?
You know, you always say you can't expect it. But I don't know. It just seemed to make sense. It was his style. I think it's what he would have wanted. Obviously.
It was just a normal day. I was getting coffee, and you know, I just did the usual, like, opened up my laptop, and there it was. It's everywhere. Google News, Democracy Now, Porn Tube, everywhere. Casey Judson dead at 75. It's tragic. Obviously, I'm very upset.
Today I figured out when I'm gonna die. I went to Costco and I saw a 42 pack of chapstick. And I was like, I will not make it through the end of that chapstick. What'll happen is they'll be like, Casey, 49-year-old failed comic Casey passed away yesterday, but his lips were very, very moist. He had very supple lips. And he died of a drug overdose in his car. It's cool if I died in my car, they'd be like, oh man, that's fucking sad, look, he died. Oh shit, look, chapstick! Cherry!
Like, we would drink every fucking where. Like, Casey loves to fucking drink. To the point it fucking killed him.
He always said when you drink beer, you drive a car.
He always made me look good, so any person who makes me look good is a keeper.
Casey said he was gonna die, like, right when I met him. He said he might die. We had this interesting conversation about free speech and stuff like that, because that was when you remember when he got in trouble for his little comment at the whatever, and everybody got scared that he was gonna go on some rape spree.
Yeah.
This little 5'1", 80-pound dude, and I didn't even know.
Are you trying to get me to pause it?
Wow.
I thought you were trying to do director commentary.
Oh, yeah. What do you want? Yeah, I was talking about Will Jerk. The other guy blanked out is John Banning, obviously. He didn't want to be in it.
I don't know. I was just trying to figure out if you were trying to do director commentary. Because your face, you showed up. You had your hand over it most of the time.
Yeah,
You're
it sounded like that. I didn't realize. Anyways,
back.
yeah.
And we're back.
And I just noticed that Casey was like the only person that said anything like in his defense. So I made a point of going to his open mic the next week, and I don't know, like right off, we kind of hit it off because we were both about like just about people not telling you what you can and can't say, and I remember him saying something to the effect of like, he goes, plus, like, I might die soon, so I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks, basically. And I think it might have been before they sawed his leg off. I don't know when that actually happened.
He like lifted up his pant leg to show me his metal ankle.
And we're back.
Like, half a year after I met him. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, I don't like to tell people because I don't want to be like labeled as a disabled person. He doesn't want people to pity him. Casey wants to earn for his credentials. He wants to be like recognized.
Shut up, bitch.
He wants to do his time and then be recognized for.
What's that?
I said, shut up, you fucking bitch. Look at his dumb fucking head.
You trying to fast forward?
Now since you paused it, I get a chance to look at this fucking dumb fuck. I hate this guy. Yeah. He's like, I'm Robbie. I'm too perfect, and I make buttons, and everyone's like, your buttons are worthy of acclaim throughout the land. Oh
Yes.
man, a great button maker, and his art is so fucking good. He's just a genius. It's so fucking genius. Oh man, you know what a genius he is? Have you ever noticed how a genius he is? Have you
No,
noticed
I
that,
can't say
JD?
that I have.
Oh man, people will tell you all the time what a genius he is. They'll walk up to you. Oh man, I never seen such a genius in my life, man. His IQ is so high. Oh
Oh,
man.
the people are giving you commentary about a person that they were stoned when they watched?
No, I'm just talking about in real life. People that come up and go,
They're
"Wow,
high though?
Robbie's so amazing."
If they're high, I mean, their credentials might drop.
That's
Don't
good.
always take high people for their word, just like drunk people.
No, he's fine. He's a good guy. He's a lot. He's a good.
He got sausagey fingers.
Hmm?
His fingers are sausages.
Yeah, he is kind of plump.
At least
Like
in
a
this
weird-
angle.
He's a big fan of.
He's explaining with his hands like a good political candidate.
Yeah, he's a good. He loves the bisected penis. That's one of his favorites.
Let me tell you something about this Casey Judson there. He was a man of many standards.
Community leader.
Presidential candidate here. You want me to skip his part or keep going to it?
God, I don't care how you do it.
How brilliant he is, or how disillusioned he is. You know, like me.
As a comedian, and he was like, "Hey, you should talk about it more on stage. You know, maybe you'll get like sympathy. You know?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't think I will." Yeah, because I tried it one time, you know, and I was like, "Hey, my legs made of metal," and there's like this long, uncomfortable pause, you know, like this one right here. You know? Yeah. And then after the pause, they were like, "Yeah, you suck." You know?
He's missing a leg? Oh my god, he's been lying to me about having two legs this whole time?
I had no idea that he was working with a fake leg.
Casey doesn't have a missing leg. You telling me Casey that whole time was walking on a peg leg? I did not hear about it. Casey never told me about his missing leg.
I noticed he was walking with a limp, and I made some off the cuff joke about it, and he took it very seriously. And so I was made aware that that's just a sensitive issue for him.
I didn't learn Casey was missing a leg until nearly 3 years of knowing him. I know there was something wrong with it, but he led me to believe his tibia was titanium and exposed at the shin. After a long day of moving furniture with him, he sat down on a folding chair at the front of a roaring fireplace, packed full of wood from a recently disemboweled piano. He turned a knob under his pants right near the knee, took off his leg, exposing a nub just below the knee. He flicked it at me like a finger and laughed.
First of all, he couldn't miss it because of the way he walked. But also, no, he posted something on Facebook. But the thing is that it's not like he got his leg cut off and it was like most people would be, with selfies in the hospital and all this shit, right? It was like, at some point he just said, "I got my leg sawed off a while ago." He sort of mentioned it in passing. You know what I mean? And so, and it wasn't even like, "Hey, I got my leg sawed off." It was sort of like, "Fuck you and your problems. I got my leg sawed off."
I gotta be honest though, ever since finding that out, I have been waiting for him just to be walking and then his leg to fall out.
Is that hard for you to walk in the ice, Casey?
He's not fucking disabled or whatever.
Because he's,
They're trying to imply it.
Yeah.
What's the implication?
No, it's fun at equal. Snow, ice is the great equalizer, really. It's then we all get to be Casey.
You can take
in the
your
winter.
leg. I can take my leg off and beat someone to death with it.
You want me to remove my leg? I have a removable leg. Someday, when I'm in a pinch in a show, I'm just gonna take it off. Just be like, yeah, what the fuck now? You know? You know, if you ever get your leg removed, and I don't recommend it. By the way, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend elective leg removal surgery.
I don't know what kind of hand he bet on, but you know, I'm sure that's what really cost his leg to be gone, dude. You would think it's diabetes, but it wasn't. It was definitely gambling for sure.
Oh, he gambled every time he went on stage.
You don't know if like they'll laugh or they'll shoot you in the back of the head. You know? I like higher stakes, you know, like even higher stakes than comedy. You know? That's what it's like to lift, you know, like you could die if you're not funny.
Here's the thing. He said he did it for a living for a while. And, you know, I've heard a handful of people in my life say that they either made their living gambling or they were just always talking about how much they won. They were always like, oh, I won this tonight, I won that tonight. And I was always like, well, why? You seem kind of broke for somebody who's fucking winning money all the time.
Some weird shit happens to you when you drive for Lyft. Like one time I was in Linwood and
Then what happened?
I picked up this guy like at like 2 a.m, you know, and he was real quiet and weird, you know, and then he didn't say anything. He just said,
What do you want, director's cut?
I just said, then what happened? I was replying to my own joke.
Oh,
I was like, then what happened?
what happened? Let's find out.
drive me to a grocery store, you know, and then I started driving him down these windy, dark roads, and the first thing he said was like, hey, are you scared to drive a guy down these windy, dark roads in the middle of the night? You know? And I was like, I don't know, are you scared to get kicked the fuck out on these roads in the middle of the night?
I mean, even if you are winning all the time, but it's not that much, then why not? Why are you not betting bigger and making money?
Casey only gambled because he believed that Norm Macdonald's autobiography, based on a true story, was actually a true story, and that the only way he could achieve greatness comparable to Norm was to gamble like Norm.
Norm Macdonald, my favorite comedian, he says that when you try to entertain, you try to make a whole bunch of people laugh and they don't laugh, that's actually like funny. You know what I mean? So I guess I took that too much to heart. So I've been like trying to do that the whole time.
He sounds exactly like him. It's not so much his voice, it's the cadence.
For me, it's his voice. At times I hear Norm's accent. However, what is more prominent is his Doug Stanhope. On the count of 3, close your eyes and just listen. You tell me, was that a clip of Doug Stanhope or Casey Judson?
I choked out my girlfriend and murdered her. Community leader. He's our community leader.
If you're going to have anyone as a mentor, I guess you couldn't go wrong with Norm Macdonald. I could definitely see the stylings for sure, that's for sure. And plus, you know, but I mean, the only difference between, honestly, Norm Macdonald and Casey Judson is that, like, Norm Macdonald's funny.
With as many haters as Casey has, it's no wonder he's a big deal. What makes him shine out over his contemporaries is his dedication to his own brand of comedy and his message that applies to all if they are willing to think in regards of time. Look out, life happens. One day we will all be bitter old people with health problems, missing limbs, chronic addictions, and scars, both physical and mental. We too will be looked down upon by the 20-somethings in comedy clubs who can't understand our sage advice.
I don't think so. I don't think he's a big deal. I don't know. He might have a big dick, but I mean, that's what I thought he was walking on this whole time, dude. I was like, dude, this guy has one leg and one dick and he walks perfectly. It's amazing.
He doesn't take any shit from anybody, and he stands up for himself, and then he gets in trouble, and then, you know, he's basically the Joan of Arc of Seattle comedy.
So I was on a comedy contest last night and I won, so it's pretty much from here on out, everybody has to try, really. You know?
I don't know if you want to call him a big deal. He was big.
Yeah, my friend asked me, he said, hey, are you going to give me Bill Cosby jokes? I was like, am I going to do any Bill Cosby jokes? Of course. Nothing gets a crowd fired up like, let's hear about that guy, right? You know? Just like nothing gets Bill Cosby fired up more than a sleeping lady. You know? He loves a sleeping lady. You know? whenever he uses, whatever the pills or whatever, because he rarely finds a sleeping lady, you know? Yeah. Anyway, I denounced.
Why is he playing music? It stomps over your jokes. You can't even hear you as well.
I don't know. The music's been a problem the whole time.
I mean, we can talk about it when we get, yeah, but I mean, I just noticed, especially when you're telling your jokes, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. You just like to have like this theme music. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
When you edit a movie, you can put the audio behind the video's audio, so it's softer. You can tune it down.
Yeah,
Anyway,
people told them that when we screened it. A lot of people told them, and so
I
then
bet.
he changed it. Then he changed it, but he didn't change it all the way. Like he didn't make it perfect. So I say the music sometimes it's obtrusive and sometimes it's good, a little bit uneven. My suggestion to him that he never took was that he should give this movie to a professional editor,
That would be a great idea.
like someone who's just experienced. But he took somewhat offense to it because he's you know how he is.
It sounds about right.
He wants, yeah. But I go, I've learned to accept that in that he just wants to do it himself.
I mean,
But
the
people,
first
but
thing
it was weird thing though was for him to have like to gather us in a room and put the movie up on a screen, and there are 8 of us in the room, and then everybody's giving him all this feedback. Then a lot of it he just ignored.
and then to take absolutely none of it.
No, he didn't take none of it. He made a lot of changes. He made like 3 or 4 versions of it. He changed, he added stuff, but most of it was. It just depends, Like he took out some stuff I wanted him to take out that I didn't found overly like shitty and stuff. He listened to a lot of people. He just didn't. But yeah, the music was always weird. But it was more weird before. He made it better, but still sometimes. Yeah, he just wants to have this theme music. I don't know why. I do agree though with you that when you're telling a joke, you can mostly have it be just quiet. You don't need any music behind jokes.
Yeah,
But
well, if you don't know how to do the technical skill, then especially because what he did was put audio of music, but kept your audio of your joke in. So basically, it's as if you were telling the joke and someone was playing on a speaker that random janky ass generic whatever it's called, like the audio is B-roll audio or whatever. Stuff that you don't have to pay for.
Yeah, that's what he was.
So it distracts. Like I was doing my best. I was listening to your jokes because I enjoy your listening, and I enjoy your commentary. That I put a pause sometimes, but then you were just saying, "Oh no," like answering as if you were in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's fun, man. Because I can hear it. Because the audio is connected.
Yeah.
So on my end, at least, your audio is connected with the video.
Sorry, it's hard to watch me.
You're a little softer than the video, so it works out.
It's uncomfortable for me to watch myself on here a lot. So
It's understandable, but your
I'll
comedy is
laugh.
some of the only thing that I would say is worth watching this. Andy's pretty decent, but I'll keep my comments till the end, or at
It's
least
a
as long-
biopic. It's about me, so it's not. It's about someone's version of what being. It's not just a stand-up.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I'm one of those comics, I'm not one of those guys who supports, rapists. I'm one of the courageous ones who denounces rape.
Obviously, it's his writing. I mean, his comedy is what's setting him apart from the rest of the field. I mean, it's amazing to me how Netflix is not knocking on this guy's door already. What are you doing, Netflix? I mean, this is Casey Judson we're talking about. I mean, probably the biggest comedian in all of Seattle, and maybe even the country. I'm not even sure, but I don't know how he did it. I wish he would hang out with me so I can learn.
He has kind of this cultish personality where he just has a very big personality that a lot of people resonate with and respond to, and that comes across in his comedy. And I think it just it's a very yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, it's sensational. It's a very like dynamic and fun experience for all who are involved.
Hey, you know what the worst part of serial killer is? It's besides the murder part. Set that aside. The worst part is that when they're done murdering, they go in like a 7-Eleven and they get like a Snapple, you know, and a pack of American Spirit Blues, you know. Like a hot dog or whatever. And then they go up to the cashier and they're like, "How are you tonight?" You know? "Just getting a Snapple and a pack of cigarettes. Nothing to see here." I know too much about it. I'm not serious.
This guy's
He's no like Ted Bundy. I feel like no one wants him to be close enough to them for him to kill somebody. But I think he's kind of like, if he had the opportunity, he'd be a serial killer.
Sarah thinks I'm a serial killer. She's told me a few times she thinks I'm a serial killer. But I think that says more about Sarah. Because she still keeps talking to me.
That volunteer park, and like Casey just starts going like, "I'm gonna murder all these people," and he just like starts like venting about his like murdering spree.
It's usually bad to be ignored when you do comedy, but it's the one time when it's not bad to be ignored is when your punchline is, "So anyways, I end up killing a guy." You know? I did that last week. I confessed to a bunch of murders, you know? And then a whole week went by, no police at my door. You know? Yeah. Bombing paid off.
If he was a serial killer, then he clearly got away with all those crimes.
This comment came up, he was just before me, and he was like, "I gotta hand it to you white dudes, man. You guys get really excited and your eyes light up when you guys talk about serial killers." Yeah. And actually I was like, "Hey man, that's fucking bullshit, man." You know, I was pretty mad, you know, because I was like, "Hey, he's talking about me."
You know the expression, serial killer clean. Casey couldn't be no serial killer. His car is way too messy. The floor and seats is all covered in soda bottles and cans. The trunk is full of dirty cat litter and sound equipment. That being said, every time I see a missing person poster in Seattle, my first thought is, where was Casey Judson on that day?
Never convicted on no murder. There's this great line from Carlito's Way. He's like,
"No, you should have edited that out."
"Dope peddler." No, he goes,
"Hey,
murderer, felon, dope peddler." And then Al Pacino stands up and
commentary.
goes, "Never convicted on no dope."
I want to make my commentary. When I say never convicted on no murder, he should have just cut it there. He didn't need it. It's like a joke where you don't need explanation after it.
He doesn't understand comedy, so...
No, he does. He gets a lot of good cuts right. Actually, it's just if I were editing it with him, I would have edited it. That's why I get upset when people are like, who've seen it, and they're like, "I didn't like my part. I think you should have put more of this." And I go, "I didn't edit it. What part of I didn't edit the movie do you not understand?"
Yeah. It's
Sarah,
got my name on the title, but it's not
Sarah,
my movie.
You know what's funny? No, I mean, I had my input, but but
Well,
Sarah,
obviously not enough input.
Sarah hates me now. She thinks I did something to her, and she's fucking
Good
sweet.
for her.
But what's funny is that even while she was being a little shit, I said I liked her part in the movie. She's real good in it for what she says. She actually said something insightful about my comedy. You notice? While other comedians were just roasting, which is fine. But first of all, she had a good part in it. I say at the beginning she's a real nice person, and then at the end she has a whole poem in the fucking thing, and she's still bitching. I'm like, what do you fucking want, lady? Women are never satisfied. She still thinks she's victimized.
Maybe.
She probably was victimized. You know what's the biggest victimization, by the way, is of women?
I think it's that I haven't seen enough of Juggalo Jake's Common.
No, but I mean, women are always saying that they were victimized by men throughout history, and then we should give them reparations.
So far, there's too much Quentin Jones and not enough Juggalo Jake for my taste.
He's
Back
in
to
it
the
more.
movie.
Okay. You want some more?
Because Quentin's only been in it like one little bit. Where's all the extra footage? Is probably in the second half of the movie.
Of
How
what?
is this movie an hour and a half long?
He doesn't even deny the other. Never, Your Honor, never convicted on No, I've never murdered anyone in my life.
Casey's a Madonna, and when things don't go his way, he gets butthurt. When Casey gets butthurt, that's when he shines his brightest.
So what? We all get butthurt. We all get butthurt. But he was a little bit more emotional with it. So okay, whatever. But that was the character of Casey.
Casey getting pissed off, like his face twitching, you know, and then you're like, I can't talk to you because you're gonna like probably resort to violence, you know, pull a gun on me or some shit, or like fucking elbow me, or take off his fake leg and fucking beat me to death with it. I'm like, is that what you want? Is you just gonna release your anger and you like get over whatever I said? You know, it would even be me. I could just bring up a topic and he's like, I'm upset at this. I gotta go smoke in my car, listen to Kanye. You know. Anyways.
He's got that facial twitch.
A little small like jitter going on with like the side of his mouth.
And he does this a lot. He gets excited.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
He's like an animated character, like a cartoon character.
He'll sit on the curb. Everybody's on the inside. And he's introverting it outside.
He definitely enjoys having unpopular opinions, and he definitely enjoys saying them out loud. And sometimes it seems like you can almost tell that he knows how poorly received it's going to be, and he likes that anyways.
Being unapologetic about what you think, but also having an air of self-deprecation.
Yes, Donald Trump, renowned chemist. He actually was the guy who created the virus. I don't know if you know that. That's actually true. He was in a Nazi lab in China when he created the virus with his bare hands. So he's an idiot, moron, he was not intelligent, but he's smart enough to create a virus. Interesting. So he's either a diabolical mastermind or a complete moron, depending on what you want to assert about him. It's interesting. You can just throw whatever you want at him. It's cool. I mean, he's a blanket. I like it because I have things I want to blame on people, so I'm glad to have him around. You know, anytime anything goes wrong. You know, like I could blame it for the dissolving of my personal relationship with my girlfriend. You know, like everything was perfect until that goddamn Trump. You know.
I like to just if someone says it's like a bad thing, take credit for it. Don't deny it. You know, just take full credit. Just own your image, basically.
He goes off the handle, but his going off the handle is damn near funnier than him bombing. So it's like, is this a play? Is this opera? I don't know, but it works for me.
He was selling children, right? Hey, you know, sometimes you're working on new jokes. You know?
Stop it!
The sex trafficking jokes.
At first, I thought it was almost like a planned thing. And then I think later I found out that Casey was actually mad.
I brought this piece of equipment and set it up on stage because I was going up after Casey, and I was kind of warming up, and I found some parts where I could be like,
"Your patience is appreciated. We'll be with you as soon as possible."
Oh, Jesus. What the hell? I like an extra humiliation. It's cool.
To Robbie's credit, that soundbite was spot on. I wish I could push a button every time a comic pulls out their phone on stage, play that soundbite. Fucking embarrassing.
Your patience is appreciated.
Fuck you, Siri. Or whatever your name is. Is that same lady? Is that same lady from before?
he didn't really vibe with it, and I didn't ask permission, but it was like an extension of my art.
And the major candidates are yes, you're right. The Libertarian Party.
Keep it going for him. And we're gonna give it up for heavy breathing, aka Robbie Schrader. You need this mic?
Fucking sick. Yeah, you know under it. Fuck you. Like that.
But I'm
Fuck you.
very fortunate that I found
What the
outlets.
fuck are you doing? Fuck you.
You're this weird person to
Fuck you. Fuck your fucking shit. Fuck you. Fuck your music. Fuck you.
already have a firm...
Suck my fucking dick. Fuck you.
Yes, he has the light already.
You might already have a firm opinion about it all, too. But I'd like to ask you to clear away for a moment what you know or think you know about this thing that's happened and consider it with me anew. What do we think of this $150,000 banana?
He said he understood, but I could see in his eyes that he didn't. He was lying to me.
In the Robbie Schrader case, Casey's clearly in the right of way. However, in Mike Parker's case, Casey is at fault as he was trying to take away Mike's right to free speech. Mike did what anyone should do in that situation, stand up against tyranny. As Harvey Dent once said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
So when didn't want to do the show at the park, I said, oh, I'll do it, you know, and I had all this equipment, but I mean, it was a ton of equipment. And I mean, I even had a wagon to bring it up. And so Casey has this little Bose portable speaker that does better than anyone has anything. So he had that, and I was like, why don't we just use yours? And then that would just make life easier. And then when I when I did that, and so the next week, it became like, I'm Casey, I'm the producer, and this is, you know, we're using my equipment, and now this is how we're doing things.
They both had very different ideas of what was going on there. It was kind of a power struggle and mixed in with a misunderstanding.
It was so crazy. That was like the worst meltdown I've ever seen in comedy history. And I think you have it on camera, correct? Yeah, that was like, cut to that part right there.
Yeah, Casey looks like a Value Village Joe Paterno. I don't know. That dude looks like he goes to high school baseball games and sits in the bleachers just to take unofficial score. I don't know. Like, doesn't even know anybody from any team. That's it. Don't worry. I don't need any of that volume. Don't worry. Yeah, Casey, don't worry, man. Don't let this comedy go to your head, buddy. All right? We're doing an open mic in an open park. That's right. If I come at 4:30, I'll be the producer. Relax, everybody. Give it up for Casey for allowing himself just to have sun time tonight. That's great. All right. Yeah, let's go, Casey. Quit playing around, man. Just have some fun, bro.
So after I roasted him, every time I went to talk, he would turn down the volume, you know, and it was funny for the first like 2 or 3 times, but then, you know, he just kept doing it and kept doing it.
I'm saying everything, man. You ever been roasted before, man? Aren't you in a roast? Aren't you in a roast, Robbie? Come on, are you roasting him? I hope not. Just don't punch me in the face like fucking. All right, give me a break, man.
Casey, turn up.
Casey, turn it up, man. Quit playing around, dude. God damn, take a fucking joke.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna have Casey Judson heckle me while I'm on stage. That's what my mentality was. Like, you didn't even ask me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I saw the way he was kind of doing it, and he was stepping on people's punchlines, and you know, so it just really wasn't a good thing, and so. I took his microphone from him, so he couldn't do that. And so I basically had 2 microphones in my hand.
You need to be able to take it when people talk shit, all right? That's part of this. But it was Casey's equipment, and Mike was physically, you know, handling Casey's equipment against his will.
I don't really care, dude. Everything was cool until you started talking shit.
I think it's fine. I think it was fine.
I know you think it's fine, but I don't think it's fine, so that's all good. And I'm not even mad. He's way madder than I am.
Well, because you were cutting him off.
I know, that's right. I'll cut anybody off who does that shit. I don't fucking care.
I think it's a
more people who like it, less I like it. I don't fucking give a shit.
All right.
That shit was
right.
fucking crazy, right? Yeah, that's fucking Casey.
That's a good example of seeing Casey get butthurt.
The Mike Parky incident was the last show to take place at the Volunteer Park Amphitheater. The incident left an awkward haze in the air that wasn't caused by the weather getting colder and wetter or somebody farting. The city of Seattle found...
How many times do you think he filmed these segments like this one before he felt like it was good enough for this to be what's good enough for the film?
What do you mean, this talking part?
Yeah, these talking parts.
I don't know.
How is this movie so long, Casey?
I don't know. It's not that long. How long is it? 15 minutes?
There's another hour left.
There's another hour left?
Yeah, I think just about.
Don't like it, huh?
The movie is an hour and 27 minutes and 26 seconds.
That's a very short time for a movie, though. Everybody keeps saying that. It must just be a bad movie.
Wait. So
Legendarily.
what'd you say?
I said it must be because 1 hour 27 minutes is a very short time for a movie, but must just be a very bad movie. Because everybody keeps saying that, they're like, hour 27 minutes. They go, in a theater, that's one of the shortest movies you can find nowadays. You know what I mean? No movie is that short. I wish it was a little shorter though. What do you think? Oh, I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, it's just fine. Don't even worry about it. It's just the internet getting throttled. It looks like no big deal. Not my problem. Do you got any commentary so far at this part? What they're talking about? Because I know your side, so I don't. I think Robbie's dick, dude. What the fuck's Robbie's deal? Robbie was mean. Yeah. That's ridiculous that Robbie did that to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it's so fucking controversial. It's like, don't talk. I'm trying to do well. Everybody wants to do well in their set. Like, there's something about me that maybe they think I'm so confident that I don't worry about if I do well. So I'm trying to figure out like all this. Like, I'm up there, and no one wants to get interrupted. So,
I think most of them don't take comedy seriously.
Well, they do when they're up. They get it totally. Robbie will get very upset if you interrupt him. You know,
he will.
Nobody likes
sometimes.
So I don't understand what the controversy was. I was like, and so what I did was, I went, if you're gonna ruin my set, I'll just ruin your set. I'll go back up, I'll grab the mic, and I'll yell over your set. That's what you think is cool, right?
Yeah.
You think it's okay to ruin a set? Well, I will ruin your fucking set. So the same thing with Mike. Mike goes, I'm going to take both mics and I'm going to criticize something that he thinks I'm doing with producing when I'm just basically, all I did was add an extra mic.
Yeah.
I said, I have the speaker with two mics. I didn't talk over. I didn't do any of the stuff he said. And I told Bruce also, he said, Bruce, Mike, when he was doing that thing, he said I was up there for 20 minutes. And what's funny, in the park, when we were at the park, everyone else did long sets. When you were there, you did a long set.
Me? When I was there?
Yeah, one time he did you were just up there, you're improvising. I don't care.
I never went over 6.
Whatever, anyways, yeah. Everybody has their story. But anyway.
No, I have mine recorded.
Okay, well, yeah, sure, fine. Anyway, yeah, Jason one time did a 20-minute set. Bruce one time was up there for fucking almost a half hour.
Bruce will go beyond his own buzzer when I was hosting
and I was excellent. I'm doing excellent. I would have all the right to do a little extra. I would have, in other words, like if we're doing informal mic and it's like make it, take it in basketball, you keep making baskets, you get it. If I wanted to do that, I was killing. And then I have that he recorded like 20 of my sets and put them on YouTube. They're all like 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 5 minutes. I never acted like, I always made a point to not go, I'm such a big deal, I can do extra time. So it really hurt me when he said Casey was up there hogging the mic for 20 minutes. That's the justification. And he didn't get up and roast me. He didn't do a roast. He was like criticizing me unfunnily. And I said, fuck you, I'm turning your shit off. And then everyone got mad. And I go, I don't fucking care if you're mad. I brought the speaker. It's mine. Don't come up and lie and not be funny and fucking do that shit. And Bruce still to this day, we fought about it, but I just don't care now. But obviously, it's just a silly, trivial bullshit. But in other words, it's just like, no, I'm not fucking with your free speech. You can go fucking do whatever you want or say whatever you want. What I did was tell you can't fucking say that shit, like what a man to man does. And then he fucking ran off like a little bitch. He was like, ran and took his shit and left. And he fucking did all this shit. He's lucky he didn't get his fucking choked out with a fucking mic cord. They act like they can say fucking anything without anybody getting fucking physically violent. It's fucking stupid. It's like a faggot gay girl world. Get fucking real, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Chris Harrison punched a guy in the face. Yeah, there's limits to what you can say to people and do to people. That's what these people don't understand. More violence. More violence. More violence. If people personally disrespect you, you always have the right to say, hey, dude, don't say anymore. I'm gonna fucking punch you in the fucking face. You shut your fucking little mouth. And if people can do that to me too, they're bigger than me. I gotta watch what I say. If someone's a big fucking giant dude, I can't disrespect him or talk about his mama or anything like that. You know what I mean? So that's what, you know what I mean? It's like, honestly, I didn't want to see most of these people's faces. I don't want to see their faces. You know, but it's all good.
I mean, I know what you're saying. We got cut out temporarily, but what's cool is it looks like it kept streaming for everyone. So now we know how it works. That's better.
I actually just everyone else disagrees with me, but I actually like his commentary. I think it's kind of funny.
Me too, and the Futures audience love it too. All the people that tune in, they're called the Futures audience.
No, I mean the Bruce's little commentary he makes throughout the movie. I actually like them.
Oh, you enjoyed Armani Jones or what? Quentin Jones?
No, I don't care about him.
He only spoke like
Bruce,
once so far.
Why do you want to see Quentin Jones speak so much?
Oh, I don't know. I want to see more people than It's 30 minutes into the film. How many people did he interview? Not enough.
Oh, I don't know. You want even more?
I mean, it's a rough edit.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't many highlights from Quentin Jones's interview. He just did one interview with everybody.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm making fun of Quentin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing what we're supposed to be doing best, what we do best.
Hell
Critical
yeah,
commentary on the comics who think they're better than they are. All right, ready? We're gonna go back to the movie.
Found out that Casey Judson had performed at the Volunteer Park Amphitheater, so the city condemned and demolished the stage. The show needed shelter. Found shelter for it. 34 days.
Hold up. They did not demolish the stage in Volunteer Park. There's no way they destroyed that amphitheater.
They did.
No,
In fact,
that
at the
amphitheater's...
In the end, he shows construction of it. The new construction. It's got like they
So
rebuilt.
So they're renovating it.
Yes, but I mean, it had to be destroyed to be renovated.
Really? Those fuckwads destroying.
Yeah, well, it's like building it with a roof now. It actually, I haven't been out there. I keep meaning to go out there, but I've seen the footage of it. They're putting it with a roof, so theoretically it should be better. But it's all like around it. It's got like fencing and all this other shit. So, but I think you can just walk up there and do it. You can just walk up there and get on the stage.
Guerrilla style. Totally.
Guerrilla
Who's the person that found a new mic?
John Banning. He just started going into like.
Why does he keep bleeping John's name? Is he trying to make it sound more controversial?
John didn't agree to be in the movie, so he didn't lie. I think it's sort of funny.
Neither did I, but he didn't even give me option, considering he recorded a whole shit ton of me, including when I hosted Mike You Are On.
Well, he doesn't like you. You don't like him. You make it clear you don't like him.
I never said I don't like the guy. I said he's a narcissist and he's not a team player. and he's
No,
toxic.
no, you don't like him.
I wouldn't want to work
what-
with him. That's all I said. There's no way. And also associate with or be around in general. He's not my type
Okay,
of.
well, there you go. That's exact. Most people don't put people in things who don't like them.
Well, but the difference is if I was making a film and he actually was talented and I wanted to have him in it, I can set everything aside for the state of the art.
I don't know. You're probably gone out of town.
Somebody like me who's hyper attractive and super talented and just in general, like you should considering.
That
He's
is
just a
true,
he's just a
but-
hater. He's just a hater. It's his personal issues. They don't like
But
when
anyway,
we
you
come
weren't
against.
here. So the movie sucks, but you want to be in the movie. This sounds so familiar.
No, I mean I would have liked to be like Banning and got the privilege to say no to his face. Like, nah, I'm good. Thanks though. Appreciate it.
I don't know what Brandon. I think he kept asking me if I should. He kept asking me if he should be in the movie.
Oh, really?
Like he-
Well,
like
what
he-
was your
like he thought-
opinion?
like he didn't want to hurt my feelings by saying anything bad. And I told him every time I go, "You're a grown man. Be in the movie if you want to be in the movie.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's totally up to you." I did say, "Hey, maybe you could not be shitty if you're in it." That would because I've watched some screenings, and I was wondering if you want to be. If you're asking me what I think, I would say, try not to be shitty.
Because
hurts
all
my
the other
fe- It
people
hurts
do
my
it.
feelings. It hurts my feelings. No, most of it doesn't hurt my feelings. I like hearing Joe Gomez say that I might be evil. I like guys who are joking. Jason McBride saying that when I died, it was on the Google News and on PornTube. That's a great joke. I like roast jokes. I just don't like authentic shittiness. Immortalized on film. That's what I don't like. I don't like.
Yeah.
Robbie doesn't say funny things. He's not a funny person. You understand?
Yeah.
Robbie's in comedy. He's a genius, but he doesn't say anything funny ever. He's not
Yeah.
funny. He's not fucking funny. He never makes a joke. He doesn't have funny in him. If you watch his podcast, he prides himself in not being funny. He has a deadpan weirdo.
I've never seen his podcast before.
He's funny on stage. I've seen him be funny on stage. He can be very funny, but generally he doesn't take pride in being funny. He shouldn't be in the movie. He's not funny. It's supposed to be a roast. So people who are doing authentic roasting is funny.
Well,
Armani Jones.
he's in
Armani
it because
Jones. He bombed
in it.
effortlessly. He bombed effortlessly. Like that's funny. That's the
Yeah.
timing, comedy timing. He's good. Joe Gomez knows how to do comedy.
only
Jason knows
Robbie-
how to. No, Jason's witty. He knows how to think of shit.
he put Robbie in it because he has a scene from the mic when Robbie interrupted your set.
Well, he thinks that's an important moment, and it's kind of interesting, I guess.
I guess
Sure,
if you
sure.
like unnecessary, ridiculous,
It's funny in its sense that I can lose my shit, but
bit one-sided, not in your favor. But that's why we're doing the director's commentary.
yeah, that's right. So I can just say he's a fucking asshole. Anyway.
Yeah, and
Actually, to me, when Robbie and Mike started coming to the park, I started to not have fun.
Yeah.
Because Mike's like, I'm a big boisterous. I'm a big star. I'm like, I want to be the big star. I don't need you to come in and act like you're the big star. That's actually what upset Mike in the first place.
It takes very
that he's
little
lying
to
about.
inflate Robbie's head.
Well,
It takes very
fine.
minimal. It's not that difficult for him to get a big head, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what he should do is he should take some fucking roast once in a while. I get shit on lots of times for years, all the time, so I'm good. How about let's fucking shit on Robbie Schrader for a year consecutively? See, Robbie can say you should take it, but he doesn't ever have to take anything. He's always
Yeah.
like, I'm esteemed, and everyone likes when I come in the room. I am esteemed. You know what I mean? I am respected and esteemed. And then
I
he
am
has a little.
harmless in demeanor, but
You know what he likes to
aggressive
do?
in my words.
You know what he likes to do? One of them, he likes to message me. He doesn't do it anymore because I don't respond to none of his shit. But he'd like to message me and go, "Hey, I'm doing this show and I put some people on it. Kind of cool. I'm doing this project and over here." And I go, "Why are you calling me to tell me you put some other piece of shit on the show?" So what he likes to do is have someone lower than him. So if he wants to be friends with you, he wants you to be below him so he can tell you what his accomplishments are and not do nothing for you, like sun you. You know, when you talk about sunning somebody, that's when you're like, he did it with Will. He was like, "Will, I'll let you hang out with me and I'll tell you what I'm doing and then I'm not put you on projects. You know what I mean? So you can be my underling." And I go, "I'm not your underling. I'm way more better than you at comedy. You can go do music and you can write Broadway scripts or whatever the fuck it is you do. As far as I know, we're in comedy, and I'm not good at nothing else. I don't play the drums. I don't do shit. I can tell jokes though, so at least in comedy I should get some respect, you would think, but it's all this other nonsense. Anyway, just I'm a failure in comedy because I can't handle the other personalities around me. I just one of those things. We're back.
Days later, in a parking garage on Capitol Hill.
All right, I wrote some jokes here. Actually, I only came to this mic because I was really lonely and I hadn't had any friends. I actually had a 10-minute conversation with like a bot. You know what a bot is? So you're like on the internet and there was some lady on Facebook, and it was funny because it wasn't like it took me 10 minutes to realize it was a bot. I realized after like 30 seconds, but I just kept talking anyways.
Casey has a hard time accepting a roast from someone he doesn't know very well.
Took the part out.
He can only handle a roast that comes from a close friend. Case in point, Jason McBride.
Casey thought that Borat was a real person.
Borat is real.
Like he was like, why? Casey was like, this Sacha Baron, he's a horrible person.
You know, Casey, you know what your problem is? You're not retarded enough. You need to be more special ed to do this job. You just need to get. You're in that. You're in that sour spot.
Casey and I are close enough that I could roast him if I wanted to without jeopardizing our friendship. I don't because I'm not into roasting people. Well, unless of course you count this film.
Hey, this would be a great time to go to the bathroom.
Guys enjoying your pizza?
Yeah, it is way better than your comedy.
Sick burn. I know.
I'm just playing, it's not.
No, you're right. It's actually, you're wrong. My comedy has ruined the taste of the pizza.
They say that he's racist.
There was this guy earlier who sat down next to me. He's a black guy, he had a mask on. You know, that doesn't matter for the story, but I was scared of him. And he was like, yo man, I like your speaker, dog. And I was like, oh, he's gonna stab me and rob me for my speaker. But anyway, he asked me if he could be on the show, and I said, yeah. So, you know, out of fear, I decided he's gonna be on the show later if he shows up.
Oh yeah, he might not see it that way, but it's not. You cannot. If you're a bigot, you can't. Most bigots don't say, "Hey, I'm a bigot." Usually, the people they offend call that person a bigot, and he's not the worst. Like I said, it's a spectrum. He's in there though.
When Casey gets called a bigot, it means something else, like doublespeak. What bigot means now is anyone that stands up against cancel culture with critical thinking.
Casey will never stop being a bigot, no matter what. No matter what. You put a gun to his head, he'll still be a bigot.
But you're not a bigot.
That's what's supposed to be funny about it.
This movie is slanderous. If I were your management, I would be on the phone right now.
But he told me this is what's funny. He's making
I'm
fun
sure.
of that.
To a person that knows not humor, it would be.
What kind of card can I play?
This is funny.
Nazi card. Just say, yeah, I'm everything you say, whatever.
We went to Chinese food one time, not too long ago actually. After a mic, it was me and him and Robbie and Jason, and we started having a conversation that made its way around to this term microaggressions.
Boring.
Yeah, just kind of talking about some of the absurdities of that.
It's boring.
You know, like I don't know. There's this whole thing on NPR about
boring.
It's boring. Cut it out. Like the film.
Yeah, I told him a bunch of times. I go, dude, it's hard. It's too long. The part where he's talking. I mean, it's too long. It's boring and insignificant, and it's inaccurate. The only reason I didn't want him to I just didn't want Robbie telling me what to talk about in a Chinese restaurant. Zero tolerance.
Fuck Robbie. Fuck Robbie.
Kid. I'll talk about gay porn in the fucking restaurant.
That's all Robbie wants to talk about. That and his latest tranny girlfriend.
That's right. You like
He's a big fan.
Anyways, I just thought this part was bad.
But these clips of you are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just see more of you would be nice. You know.
That's true.
Oh, white male. Don't you know that? Yeah, white male, you know? That's not good. Alright? That's a bad thing to be. You don't want to be that. But here's the thing, I'm proud of it. You know? But not too proud of it. You know? You can't really be proud, you know? So I'm more like kind of like, so you can be proud, but I'm not ashamed. You know, it's not my fault, you know? But so I'm indifferent to it. Can I be indifferent to it?
Do you have like a crematorium where you just burn, like you just buy a steak from Safeway and you put it in there and be like, if only it was a Jew. If only that was a Jew.
I just killed Jews. I don't fuck around. I live practice on a steak. I'm not wasting a steak.
If you think about bigots all the time, of course you're going to see everything as racist. Jack Grape says he can learn everything he needs to know about a person just by looking inside their refrigerator or medicine cabinet. Now, there are algorithms for that and other indicators. YouTube knows what videos you like. If you want to know what's going on inside a person's mind, look at their YouTube homepage. How many videos related to race or police brutality?
He's been posting his videos all over, and he put one of them on the infamous Reddit. And he got a reply message from someone from where we used to perform at Jai Tai Broadway. And they said, let's see what it says here. I wrote it down just so I don't want to get their word.
Hey, I know that place, Jai Tai. I follow them on the Instagram. Jai Tai Comedy on Broadway. One Paul Curry is the host coming up tomorrow or tonight, sometime like that, in Seattle local. Yeah, good old Paul Curry. I got bumped for him when he visited L.A. at a beach show. Bumped for Paul Curry so that he could go over 5 minutes. He went for 8 minutes. Didn't say a single real joke and slandered the area. Oh, and also, when I shouted 206, did not know the area code, but claimed he was a Seattle comic. Good old Paul Curry. What a wonderful guy. If I'm up in Seattle, I hope I could be on one of those. Jai Tai Comedy. You know, Jeff Dye performed there.
Yeah, I met him there. A lot of people there.
Just calling attention so people know what you're talking about. Jai Tai Comedy. Great restaurant.
Yep.
Now with 20% less rats.
Words wrong.
They had a pipe.
They said
Yeah.
a lot of the videos you're posting of the comics are sloppy.
Yeah, they had the pipe break. They got it fixed, though.
You heard about that?
Not sure at all.
Oh, I thought you were. That'd be funny.
Oh, I just talk with certainty. That's the power of improv.
I just read that they had to cancel one.
People can fact check later. We're in America, heaven
It's a
forbid.
super old bit. It's an old building, and the pipes in the basement are old.
Oh yeah, definitely. People still live upstairs.
None of the producers are there except for Paul.
Oh yeah, he's the only one
Let me
left
talk-
because
hold on, let me talk
they all got mad at them for being mean to a black girl
Let me hear me talk shit about Jai Tai. That's one of my favorite parts.
on the set.
This set.
Subpar.
My favorite
That's like,
part.
you know. Sloppy and subpar. Some of them are pretty good, but most of them are racist, and they seem like they're on drugs. Yeah, Jason. And then Bruce asked me, he goes, hey, does that make you upset? And I was like, no, you heard the bitch. She said I was pretty good.
What a woke comedian thinks Casey Judson.
He hurts my feelings. He makes me uncomfortable.
Jake.
I'm not sure if I agree with that joke. Let's take Casey out back and lecture him for 20 minutes about how he's politically incorrect. And if that doesn't work, then we'll cancel him with our little Twitter hashtags.
It's a mixture of fear and admiration, and also like, hey, that guy has cigarettes.
tasteless, but so goddamn committed that you gotta love it.
Wokesters don't even listen to what people are saying half the time. You know, they hear one trigger word and then immediately they just go on this tirade or rant that someone's this, that, or another.
Everybody's a bunch of backbiting bitches.
I think they just hate him because that's it. They just hate him because he's old and he doesn't wear like the clothes that they like.
Being at an open mic with all comics is like going to a job interview, and then the person who comes to interview is just another person applying for the job. They're like, why do you want this job? You fucking suck, man. You can't do this job. Also, you're a terrible person also. Are you gonna come to my show?
I dislike the idea of the comedian as the upstanding citizen. You know what I mean? The upstanding, upright, good guy of the, you know what I mean? The idea that a comedian, everyone's kind of like trying to be the, you know, like.
Hold up. Who let the rollerblader onto the skate park? That's some serious jank. You know, back in the 90s, those skaters would have jumped that kid for even daring to be on that with those rollerblades.
That ain't right.
It ain't right. It
This
just
is a
ain't right. Kids
sanitized-
these days.
The sanitized, clean, new modern version of the skate park. More
I like
accepting.
how he like bleeps your name.
caring.
When he bleeps a name out, he also tries to attempt to bleep your mouth out.
No, usually he has a big circular thing over the
Yeah,
top of it.
I just paused it at the right moment so it has like a blur.
So that
Watch.
means I won't be able to read lips.
Yeah, yeah, because it's so important that no one knows about John Bannock.
It's just, to me, I just consider it funny. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's silly. It makes it more interesting. Sure, definitely.
Yeah, but some people are like, I don't get it. It's like fucking stupid. Sarah in
Yeah.
her little review of it, she's like, it's just fucking dumb when he talks like that, and then it's dumb when he puts the thing over the thing. It's just dumb.
And then did you ask
Just
her like you
fucking
do?
stop.
Did you ask her if she made your sandwich yet?
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you make my fucking sandwich?
And takes food to the homeless. And Chris, what is his name? They're just all, they're so decent, and then they have the right view. You know, they know that like men are bad and women are good, and they're on the right side. And that's just being on the right side of things is not comedy. You know what I mean? Comedians are like kind of like bad, kind of. They're like, you know, they're questionable. You know what I mean? All the ones I like, anyways, right?
I was up in Everett recently, and Blake
More
Kiltop was
Robbie,
like
yeah.
mentioning to
Yeah, let's see if he didn't say anything funny. We'll give him 5 more seconds.
some other comic like, "Why did I ever book Casey? That was a mistake."
Oh,
this
so all
is
he's
Blake
doing is
where he
just
shits
saying
all
mean
over-
things.
This is Blake when he shits all over me. This is one of the ones that pissed me off too. But
This
it is
part?
what it is. I got to call him a cunt in the beginning of the movie, so that helped me feel better.
This part?
I
You're
called him a
talking about-
cunt. Yeah.
Yeah,
he
you
goes,
did.
Chatting with other people I know, that's probably something I would have said. Like, oh, I learned from that experience as a producer to make sure I do my research.
I started doing the Tinder thing myself. Tinder's kind of cool because you can get up early in the morning at like 8 a.m.
You'll notice
you know?
the uproarious
like,
laughter at the end of this.
What's that now?
Oh, he said I was amateurish and blah blah blah, and then I go, Bruce did on his credit. He posts at the end of the set here, and then the uproarious laughter of the room full of people. Usually, if you're amateurish, you usually don't get howls of laughter. You know? He's probably
Sometimes
put that.
for when you are finally getting off of the stage.
Yeah. Anyways, if you have a fucking 20-minute long feature set at the end, people are howling in laughter. Usually, that means you did the job good.
Yes, definitely. The differences between you and Bruce are vast.
No, it's not true.
And you can like pretend you're rejecting them. You know, you can be like, oh yeah, you're really gorgeous. You're doing it. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. There's somebody else's problem now. You know, sweat. But anyway, I met one that I liked. This lady, she had a profile, and we matched. And her profile was one sentence. It was, I'm looking for a great guy. Under 5'11", need not apply. Namaste. I said namaste to Taina, even though I don't know what it means. But then I looked up namaste. You guys know what namaste means? Anyway, it means like, I see God inside of your soul, you know? And then I look at you and then I bow to your soul. You know? Unless you're under 5'11", then you can go fuck yourself. All right, I had a good time. Thanks for coming out.
First time of feature headlining, huh?
Yeah!
15 minutes at an open mic, you're gonna call that headlining. That's awesome. Great stuff, Casey.
But I wouldn't say I disliked Casey. I just was taken aback by how amateurish I thought the whole performance was. And I found out after I had booked him that he was much more inexperienced at comedy than I thought. And what I had observed a lot.
What is he saying about you? That makes no sense. You getting laughter and you're amateur.
Plus, also, it's even worse. He's like terrible. He actually told people I didn't bring people when I brought more people than anyone. I actually went to the mic every week for like a while, and then I asked everyone I know to come, and for considering that I'm small potatoes, I got like something like almost 20 people to come. That's a lot for just a nobody. And I got like all my comics got on the list. They came. I brought like 4 people in my car. I had friends, like friends from Olympia that came up. So the room was more full and loud than almost any week, and I did like my part to make it that way. And then he just said I didn't, and it's basically because of some nonsense.
Because he's amateurish.
No, because of some disagreement with some other people that are friends of his, so he just decided to lie.
Oh, that's even worse. Such an amateur, no professional.
Yeah,
A lot from him on stage.
By the way, also, if you want to know how long someone's been doing comedy, don't blame me when you don't know how long it is someone's been doing comedy. Like, why is that something that has to do with me? Like, you could just ask me how long you've been doing comedy. It's not like I deceived him. He even says it right there. I didn't deceive you or lie to you. He said, and he also said he was so confident, and it seemed like he'd been doing comedy longer than he really had. I go, yeah, that's the idea. You're supposed to be looking like you are doing it longer. That's the difference between good and bad. So if been doing comedy 3 months and you sound like someone who's been doing it for 2 years, that's a positive thing. So he's acting like, and he's stupid anyway. I had a great set, so fucking. When I first saw this, it upset me, but Bruce explained that he's just trying to set him up and make him look stupid by showing the thing.
Yeah, Bruce will say whatever he needs to get that signature, but at least he edited it for you from what it was.
Which I would call poise and self-confidence. I took to be a reflection of many years of experience.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah,
it doesn't matter anyway. It's just one stupid feature said. It just matters in my life. You know how like things in your own life matter? You know what I mean? Like someone hurt your feelings or whatever, it just matters. But it's weird for it to be all fucking people watching it and shit.
I'm not a fan of dishonesty. I'm with you on that.
He's trying to make him look shitty, but whatever. He's cares. He's fucking.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Look at his sunglasses, like he's a Hollywood producer with his sunglasses, like his good, amazing booking. What did I get? $40 anyway. Who gives a shit?
Those are like $15 at Ross.
You know what's funny is that I don't know. I could be wrong, I guess, but if you watch that set, you know, if he was like just normal or whatever, he would go, "Hey, we could do more shows." You know what I mean? Like we could do more. Like instead he wants to make it this. They always want to make it this little shit, and they go, "Hey, we could do like a bigger show." It's just a small mind mentality. I wish I could have thought through that better. Got away.
I agree entirely.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why we didn't go, "Hey, you did a good job. I could put you on more things. And we could continue to bring those people out that you already brought out, and then continue to improve, and we could do this or that, or work on projects." But for some reason, he was like, I feel like I know it sounds self-serving, but he was like, he's so good, I have to like say something bad about him right after. And then I go, I couldn't have been nicer to him. I was always nice to him. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. like I sound arrogant on stage or something, but I don't think I act like that person. I'm always like, "Hi, how are you? Good to see you." You know, I just don't understand people's behavior, why they're like the way they are.
They all think that they're LA, but they don't come to LA to see that they're not even close.
It isn't even that. I just think it's the nature of comedians. There's
Oh, it
something
is,
wrong with,
dude. Come
there's
on,
so much
man. This
wrong with
guy's
them
got
in
the
general.
attitude of a producer that's like he's got the attitude like he's in any state in any area.
I think what happens is they've been doing it. He's been doing it like 8 or 9 years, and then he sees you like having that extra element that makes
Oh,
you
you
kind
mean
of
like how Bo is? How he's been doing comedy for 7 years, yet somehow nobody knows who he is outside of Seattle?
similar, but Bo doesn't try to cut you down necessarily. He
I think
doesn't.
it depends on who you are and how he views you.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of does, but like with I can see that like by his demeanor, he's like, "I'm a star." He'll walk around like he won't talk to you or stuff like that. But with me, he's see me and he's like, "Okay, I know this guy is good." So we would be, you know what I mean? As far as just having the talent for it, but uh, but I think it's the thing in all comedians. There's like this this. Well, I guess everyone thinks they're the shit. Is what it is. Even if the
Uh,
evidence,
I
everyone.
like the mantra "I suck." I'm not a comic. That's my favorite. I say that a lot. And I know you're not supposed to say that stuff because then it puts it into the air, but I kind of like it stagnantly sitting around me all times to remind me
Yeah, I
and
like
keep
that
me
too.
in check.
I say it all the time. I'll
So
say
I put these magical words in front of me, like when people think that. I said that this comic the other day. I was at a Monday night mic, and I was at the hour before the show that she was on, and I stuck around, to just respect and just in general. And she's like, "Oh, you're a comic," and I was like, yeah, nah." She's like, "Oh, you were in the first hour, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, pretty much."
I'd be careful with that because
What?
I said I'd be careful with that because there's a line between being humble, hating yourself, or not loving yourself.
I think it's even if like you're very funny and stuff. I think it just personally, I feel like it doesn't. I feel like you look like a tryhard when you talk a little. Like I'd prefer
Yeah,
like you have interesting, intelligent discourse off stage and then silly, dumb jokes on stage.
I just don't like having to convince other people of anything. I just don't
Like
like
that's
it.
how I'm gonna end up being. I know
I
that.
could I could
I'm gonna
never
be
do it
saying
because
stupid
I don't.
stuff and using accents and goofy stuff and just silly, drunk, lovable stuff on stage, and then off stage talking intelligent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel like, what you say on stage and what you say off stage when it comes to you at least is the same. You don't have a character that you do.
Maybe a little bit exaggerated.
I feel like at most you do an
You're
exaggeration.
entertaining. Yeah, exactly. You're entertaining.
I think I
You're
heard
right,
an
but that's
awful
not
lot of laughter coming from that room. I'd say entertaining is a good word to describe that
Oh
set.
yeah, man! I had all kinds of people telling me what a great. I thought it was gonna be like I thought I hit it out the park. Is how I felt.
I think
Relative
he
to
was
everything,
disappointed
the
because it was his
preparation.
show and he felt like you upstaged him, even though that was your job as a headliner.
Yep, that's pretty much what's up.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, it was like an excitement in the room.
I'm
It
a
was
pretty
like
good
people,
judge of
everyone,
character like that.
everyone wanted to come. Everyone wanted to come talk to me. It was like that level, where everyone was like, "Oh shit," everyone wanted to come and talk outside. Everyone was talking. He was like, real, like, "Wow, man." He was like, "Thanks for that." He was like, nice, and then later for him to say all this shit is like, "Wow." I'm pretty, I mean, like I can't even have my little nice moments. But anyways, it is what it is.
And we're back.
So when I booked him, I was booking him on his moxie. I hadn't really watched his set. I had only talked to him a few times after.
Who says moxie in a practical way? This
I know
guy.
exactly. He's a fucking pretentious dude.
He
He's
wants
very,
to be a mobster so bad. He probably
He
just got
reads-
done watching Miller's Crossing right before this interview.
Yes.
Somebody get him a freaking pinstripe and a proper
He
hat to
runs,
match.
he runs a prestigious open mic in Seattle, so he has
Oh,
every-
I'm real sure. Most
every right to
certainly.
be.
Every right.
Most high-end establishment, I'm sure.
It is. Open mics, and I've been impressed by Moxie and a few good jokes here and there. And so I just expected, as the guy I thought was clearly a feature-level comic, he would come do a feature-level set. And it turned out, he's only been doing open mics for 3 months, and the set demonstrated that to me. He had people in the audience who knew him and were friends of his, and so yes, they were very enthusiastic.
Bringing people to a show is totally unacceptable behavior from a stand-up comedian. Packing the house with paying customers? Disgusting. I've never known of a producer of an open mic to require a performer to bring at least 3 friends to get a spot. I did meet a man there that night that only knew Casey through Facebook. He traveled there all the way from Aberdeen, Washington to Tony V's garage to see Casey's feature set. That's 137 miles of nothing to look at. Speed limit so low there's smack of entrapment. And bumper to bumper Tacoma traffic. That's the draw that Casey Judson has.
Yeah, you know how you can tell when you don't really love yourself enough? It's when your best friend is the drive-thru guy at McDonald's. So I'm doing this show on Monday, and I tried to get all of my old friends to come, and most of them are like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they're gonna be like, Mike at the McDonald's say he'll come.
I had a really good joke that I was telling in my dreams. And I woke up and I told my girlfriend, I was like, oh shit, I just had this great joke. And I gotta write it down before I forget it. And she was like, cool. Anyway, can you clean the cow boxes, And then I was like, yeah, I'll clean the cow boxes. And then anyway, we started talking, and then I forgot to write the joke down. But, it was probably good. So, right?
Good
Damn,
job,
Andy really likes you an awful lot.
Yeah, he does. He's like,
That was one. I forgot to write down a joke too once.
Jason does? He always, whenever I hear him, he's always laughing hysterically. And then I have a joke on Facebook. He never presses ha ha ha. He always just goes like. But the laughter doesn't lie when people laugh.
At least he doesn't do the angry face.
Yeah, the angry face is not good.
Then it went too far.
And he's like, He's a good guy.
I mean, it's a good joke, but still.
It doesn't make any sense. If God exists, why does Casey?
What
was that now?
Oh, Andy and Katie started fucking each other, and they both have the same loud laugh. They were both the two loudest laughers. So I imagine them fucking each other, going, like that.
I wouldn't disagree with that concept, but that was a short-lasting fling that the two of them went through.
Yeah, it wasn't too good. It wasn't too long. I don't know.
I mean, that. Two lonely people, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what that song's about?
He has a lot of boyfriends.
Look at
he didn't
all
like
the
it.
lonely people.
He didn't like it. I don't know. He didn't like it because he's a guy who wanted a girl, and then she just was fucking several guys a long time, and he got mad. And instead of killing her, he decided to distance himself.
Big girl, big libido.
Yeah, he likes a lot of pork sausages inside. So, hey, who can blame? Who can fault her?
And we're back.
I think you answered your own question. It's a trick question. There's obviously no God.
God has a sense of humor, I think,
My friend's trying to get me to join his church for 3 weeks. All the time sending me messages, videos from Kirk Cameron talking about God. The guy from Growing Pains. Anyway, he's into God. But anyway, I was like, I don't want to do that. And then after 3 weeks, he stopped, And I went down to get the meds, and I was like, hey, man, how come you were trying to get me to join a church for 3 weeks? And then he stopped, He was like, I just gave up. You didn't seem very interested. I go, yeah, but I'm going to hell. I'm going to the fiery pits of hell. We've been friends for 30 years. He was like, fuck up, Hey, I asked him a couple times. Oh, what can I do? He's going to go burn in hell.
Everyone has a purpose, a divine leader. I do believe in God.
divine creator creates people. You need to see a spectrum of quality and things amongst life. So, you know, I think people always question God like, oh, if he existed, why is there bad? So you can know what good is, you need to have comparison. And so, like I said, everyone has a purpose. Divine creator creates everyone to have a purpose. So Casey,
Tell that to all the people whose babies die. My poor baby's dead. Well, that's so that I could appreciate that mine's alive.
he serves a purpose. God wanted to experience what it was like to be Casey. Just like he wants to experience what it's like to be me and what it's like to be you. You know, he's a part of all of us, and that's why there's all of us. It's this endless smorgasbord of experiences, of life experiences that God is all experiencing through.
You want to know the truth about God?
We're almost to the hour mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is when I think the movie should have ended. You seem to think it should have ended like
We
5
were going to
minutes
stop
in.
at an hour, yeah. And then I was going to
Yeah,
go.
because it's right after Blake Kiltop ironically says what he thinks the reason of why I exist. And I go, that's the perfect end of the
I
movie.
thought you said an hour. So are you already like, do you think the movie should have been finished with that?
Right after a little bit past Andy's part right here is where I think it should end.
Okay.
But I was going to say the truth about God is because he asked about God. The truth about God is the degree to which you believe that God is here guiding us and he wants to see our lives, all that kind of stuff they're saying, is the degree to which you're naive. So the more naive a person, the more they believe in that. So you'll notice that the more they might be really nice people, they're actually nicer people because naive people are nicer and kinder because they don't understand reality. The reality of it is it's the reason say why babies get killed from loving parents and a baby is because it's completely, totally random and up to us. There's no justice whatsoever. It's all just things just happen. That's all. Just
Hey,
because.
look, I'm all for killing babies. I just think we should always be aware that it could be yours at any point. So
that's life. That's part of life. That things
yeah.
can just happen.
And he
and
said
there's
that God wanted to know what it was like to experience being.
That's one way to look at it. It sounds nice. The nicer things sound, usually the more wrong they are. Like if you hear a poetic, beautiful motivation for God, like for one, like when you die, you go up there and your loved ones are there waiting for you, and there's a
babies.
gate. They care for you. I go, that sounds completely, totally fabricated. Not at all what it's like. It sounds too nice. It's like a movie that has a nice ending. We've watched a lot of movies. They have all nice, comfortable endings, and that's why we like them, because we like to hear nice words. We don't want to hear like, oh, one day your kidney is gonna pop and you'll just die. Or maybe you'll dream of being some big thing and then you'll go, oh, he died
It
in
was
a
cut.
ditch.
It cut out again on me.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Ready?
Well, let's play, yeah.
Through us. So, and I bet Casey's one of his favorites.
Obviously, Casey is God, and I think we should start ritualizing.
We should just end it on that line right there. Obviously, Casey is God. The end.
It's funny.
This
Yeah.
It's funny. It's actually
in a
funny.
weekly ceremony where we.
What?
It's funny. It's like actually funny. He says
Yeah.
funny things, and she says funny things. Robbie doesn't say funny things.
Oh yeah, Robbie's useless in this movie so
Yeah,
far.
he is.
Go to a tent and have worship and like light everything with like pretty Christmas lights, and I'll take the stage and deliver a sermon about counterculture and its exigencies, and I think we should put Casey front and center into this place of worship, and I guess we've already done that.
God creates all types of people, including people like Casey and people like Juggalo Jake.
You know, I ask God that every day. You know, I sit there and I have this altar, and I have a picture of Casey with this big red X through it. I have a Casey voodoo doll. I'm not sure. It is missing a leg too. It's very authentic. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I think God is.
See, that's actually funny. He's
Yeah.
improvising and making funny things up. Maybe
Yeah,
Robbie
like-
Schroeder could learn and take some notes.
A mean bully, and I think he torments his people by putting Casey Judson on this earth. And yeah, I mean, you know, God does say that the demons will be walking amongst you, and obviously Casey Judson is a demon. Yeah, that's exactly it.
If you eat 5 dry grams of golden peach,
So you're demon and you're God. Good job.
I love it. That's good. It's
Straight-
perfect. Good.
Yeah, just should have ended it right there.
I think right after this next part where Blake is very poetic, actually, surprisingly so, after being so shitty.
It's
Keep
almost
playing
to an hour. There's about 4 minutes left.
and your mind is strong, look to the sky and ask, if you exist, then why does Casey Judson? God will ask you, do you still not know life is a dream?
It's kind of a loaded worldview for one thing. Like, what do you mean by God? Like, when I talk about God, I usually mean like all of existence, you know, with the manifestation of sentience on top as like the cream of the crop. But ultimately, there's not like a personable God who's interested in us. There's no mind behind the universe. We are the mind of the universe. So to ask why Casey exists if everything else exists is a tautology, really. Like, we all exist. What do you mean? So what do
Using
you?
your definition of God.
Because everything exists. Using my definition of God, the reason Casey exists is because Casey exists. Existence is. There's no other half to that. So existence is. That's what it is, and Casey's part of it.
I think it should have ended right there.
Right there. The end.
I'm serious. That would have been a nice ending.
Casey suffocates in the Pacific North.
Well, I accidentally blabber. Yeah. Out before that, yeah, when it cuts to black, then it's like clapping and everyone's like, "Oh, thank you for coming out to our showing, everyone. I hope you appreciated this short film. Casey is not actually dead. He's in the audience tonight. Give it up for Casey, everybody." Ah.
Yeah, but that's actually it's actually.
And now we're gonna do a short Q&A with Casey and Bruce.
Some of the other parts are good, I guess. After it,
You know what I'm saying? If it had ended right there, that's how it would have gone.
sure.
That's how you do an indie showing. You when a movie world did credits, then it's like the audience and clapping and you know.
Yeah, sure.
That's how you're supposed to do it, at least.
Everyone told them it was too long.
Okay, this
all
is the
said it
part
was
where
long.
I'm gonna go throw the popcorn into the microwave real quick.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
Casey can discuss behind the scenes stuff
can
about
pause
how
all of it.
how it really was. While I'll be right back, folks.
There's no people. This is fucking this shit going. I'm not gonna discuss shit. I'm gonna go get something to eat too. Fuck this motherfucker.
Wow, such riveting commentary from Casey, I'm noticing. Stick with us. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back. Let's play some music. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Janie got a gun. Fuck is this shit? Give up. Ah! 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 Mm.
And I can hear Casey riveting commentary. And we're back. And we're back, everybody. Thank you for it. Hopefully you all enjoyed your
I
temporary
like how you can
intermissions.
do. Oh, I like
¿Qué
how you can
pasó?
do. I like how you can do commentary when no one's around. Like you have that radio talent to just pretend there's a crowd improv.
Always. I do that
I
on
saw you
stage.
before. You were commenting, and you were just like, "I'm practicing it because when there is a crowd, you'll be ready." Me, as soon as
All
you
the
leave,
time.
I'm like, I'm talking to myself. It feels weird.
That's literally what I'm doing. It's practice for sure that you get on stage.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, talking, nothingness. Hi guys, we're back,
That and making stuff up.
and I'm making some
improv.
soup right now.
And we're back. Oh, look, let's make commentary real quick on I'm wondering if Bruce knows that the settings on that camera should be probably on the number 2. You know, I know a lot about those cameras that Bruce is using.
You don't like the camera?
I'm commenting on what Robbie's saying because look at the picture.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm wondering if Bruce knows that the setting would be better on number 2. I
I
know that
designed
about
this
these
T-shirt.
cameras.
I designed this T-shirt. I do a lot of one-off T-shirts now. I'm a Renaissance man. He is a Renaissance man. That means he knows how to do a lot of things.
And it means that he got diddled when he was younger and doesn't have to pay for anything.
He got diddled.
That's how them artists was treated back then.
Yeah. He got a what do you call them? Anyways, he likes to buy stuff.
I make these T-shirts.
Yeah. I like to talk shit mostly is my main thing I do. Mostly. A lot of screenshots. You know, you can tell who the worst people are in life is when anyone of you know, do they ever send you screenshots like of what other people said?
Only if it's nice things.
I'm sure you've seen them and you've probably sent one or two in your life. Probably.
Casey, I send you if it's a nice someone said something nice about you, I send it to you.
Oh yeah, it's a screenshot. Yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. As long as
I'll be like, oh yeah, Emily said hi. You know, send you a picture of what she said. Oh, I miss Casey.
Some people use it to expose others.
I know that's what Emily does. Emily will screenshot things, but then a lot of people they'll take it out of context. It's like, yo, show me the full conversation. Show me the part where you instigated this shit.
Exactly. They'll leave shit out. They use it to manipulate and to mold you into their fucking point of view. And I go, I'll tell you right now, if you're showing a screenshot and it reveals anything that's not like a positive thing, that's now you know you cannot trust that person. You can look them right in the eye and go, now I know you're someone I cannot trust. 100%.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Seriously, they will do it to anyone. They'll go, oh, my mama said never to tell. And then they go, hey, look what mama said. They'll rat out anyone. They got no scruples.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. That's what's up. But that's probably 75% of the people in comedy.
I got my popcorn now. The second,
I got a scone right here. Look at this.
Second portion of this is brought to you by Casey's. What do you have, Casey? What are you eating?
A scone.
Casey's scones.
Casey's scones.
Available.
You know what I'm putting on it? You know what I'm putting on it, people out there? Putting some butter and raspberry jam on there.
Well, now, you'll have raspberry jam and butter not included, but you can get Casey's scones for.
You can go to the store.
$20.99. $20.99.
These are from I can't resell these fucking. Don't listen to that guy. He's a bullshitter.
This is how it works, Casey.
We're faking it till we make it.
Damn straight. Professional.
It'd be cool to have a sponsor, though. It'd be weird if we had some viewers, because then we'd have to start behaving ourselves. Start getting up in the morning and shaving and stuff. You know, like I'd have to change into a white T-shirt that doesn't have stains on it. This one's pretty good. Yeah. We're frozen now? Huh? Hello? Hi. You gone? You quit? You left.
And we're back. Thank you for staying. Righteous. Well, we'll see if Casey gets back in it. There we go. Nope.
There we go. Can we pause and fast forward this mystery?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
We'll see.
There's some parts that are good. There's more stand up. It's kind of good.
That's the parts we enjoy so far.
I love all of it. I think it's a masterpiece.
Fans,
music.
let's see if you agree with us.
Except for the music.
Our comments are. Well, it looks like you're getting an awful lot of hearts and some fire icons, and oh, thank you very much for the $1,000. Looks like this person says comment.
Hi.
Casey is so wonderful, and this movie deserves an Academy Award. Wow. Thank you for that $1,000. And
thanks, bitch. Appreciate
it.
Thank you, dumb bitch. Movie sucked.
Thank you, Hogue. I appreciate you checking out. Oh, that's just me getting my payments. All right, let's see what he has to not like. Let's see about the joke. Something funny, right?
Northwest, but I think he could really flourish in the Midwest if in Middle America if he could tolerate them.
We're gonna go on a tour on the nation in the like 4 areas where you can do comedy, you know. And she said, "Aren't you scared?" You know, like scared of like having violence committed on me. And I was like, "No, I'm going to South Dakota. I'm afraid of like that I'll join a militia." You know. And it's not that I'm angry and want to join a militia. I'm just very impressionable. You know. Yeah, so I might join a militia.
Casey does okay around here. He has a lot of confidence, but I feel like his material really caters towards a less progressive audience, somebody that just could get behind him.
Well, yeah, he's gotten a lot better. I mean, like, usually that's how it works.
I can't be sure, but I think Casey Judson's a good person.
Casey will have to cut out. I am definitely not renting this twice. I have things to say, but I was gonna wait. I'm gonna still wait. Let me see. Papa rolling. All right. Lesser known thing about in general. I'll tell you something you should practice when you eat in general. What I'm doing right now, not professional. But watching, totally professional. I was gonna make myself some chutney. I got spice black. You all appreciate tea? We should do like a special thing with tea. That'd be fun. I'm real informed. You should go to the tea festival. So you got this. I put like brown sugar and honey up in that though. Nah, I don't need no alcohol. I wonder maybe Casey's phone died. I'm guessing his phone died. You know, it's cool. So I could probably share stuff. Like, we'll talk about it. Now that I've seen how it's possible. Questionable. The thing I don't know is, like, to what extent I can show it without getting in trouble. I might pay for the upgrade once I get, like, going. The main thing on my end is that it's a really nice laptop for certain things, not for all things. Also, I'm not using it appropriate like I could be using it, which I should be, and I will someday. Now, I used to say that all the time, but oh, the other night too, I was recording, working on a pretty cool, should be coming out. We'll see. And then seems like not a lot of people want to review up on Hawkeye. And I've rather enjoyed it, so that's another thing I'm gonna plan on doing. I'll tell you what though, if Casey don't come back, I might just be like, that's it, and go back to other stuff. Because for the most part, this was mostly just to show the movie. But I think maybe we could watch it. We could just watch it, and then he could come back when his phone's on. I feel like that's what Casey would want.
What I'm sure of is he's a champion of free speech. Each time he hobbles up on stage, he stands up for the free speech of succeeding generations. I can't understand why wokesters hate free speech. I get that they might have felt bullied for some period of their life, but acting like a Wu Mao is never the answer.
It's a tough time now for rhetoric, you know, like things you can say, you know, and things you can't say, you know. So you gotta really watch what you say. Like right now, you know, I'm really worried, you know. Hope I don't say the wrong thing, you know. But anyway, yeah, you can't say like all lives matter, you know, because that would be bad. I'm saying it now, but I'm just saying you can't say it. You know? But you can't say all lives don't matter either, you know. So it's kind of confusing. I personally think that every single life matters. you know? But they really don't, though.
Casey's life matters.
You know, he's doing like I think what we all want to do, which is to say what we really want to say and also be funny at the same time.
Well, like I said, brave. A lot of people want to be edgy and they don't have critical thought backing it up. And Casey always seemed to have like a willingness to continue pushing against ideas as a critical thinker in a way that was really unpopular with other people. I heard people bad-mouthing him a lot, and I saw people at open mics not reacting well to his jokes, and he never seemed to be fazed by that. And standing outside talking about the show, talking about the scene and stuff, he seemed to have his head very squarely on his shoulders. That's why the most surprising thing about this conversation to me is that he was drinking and driving to a point where he was, there he died. I honestly didn't think of him as a big party animal or anything.
I think all people are inherently good, but Casey is inherently evil.
The other day I was on a freeway and there was a car accident, you know, and they let us go by and I looked and I saw the cars, how mashed up they were, and I go, hey, somebody probably died, you know? And I think that like everybody, when someone dies on the highway, should just like stop and get out of their car and like go over there and like care, you know? You know? Like we should all talk about how much we care, you know? But what they do is they like clear it out of the way so I can get to Chipotle. You know? Because Chipotle closes at 7 and my girlfriend really likes Chipotle. And if I don't get her Chipotle, there'll be like another death. You know?
Misunderstood, but good.
The other day I was driving home and I saw somebody laying out on the sidewalk, you know, on Aurora Avenue. And I thought maybe like thousands of cars have gone by and been like, well, she's probably all right, you know. But I decided to go back and check and see if she was dead or not, you know. So I drove back and it's like by a Jack in the Box, and so I pulled in and I walked over to the girl and she's looked pretty bad, you know. And then I just was like, hey, are you okay, you know, and she was like asleep, you know. And I woke her up and she was like, she looked really bad and she was like, yeah, my boyfriend left me out here overnight in the parking lot, and then I couldn't find my car keys or my car, so I had to sleep overnight in the, you know, in the parking lot. And there's the punchline. Her life's unfortunate. No, that's not the punchline. But it would be cool if it was. But anyway, I was like concerned, you know. I wasn't laughing like you guys because I'm not evil, you know. And so I was like, hey, are you all right? Do you need like to get something to eat, or like maybe come back to my house and take a shower or something? You know, because I'm a nice guy. I always invite strange girls to my house to take a shower. You know? And she looked at me and she kind of smiled and she was like, no, I think I'll go back to the parking lot. Yeah. So anyway, I think she likes me. She likes me. There's something there. There's definitely something there.
Well, he's definitely a person. That I can say for sure.
I always thought that I should work for the suicide hotline, you know, because I've been through a lot of sadness in my life, so I feel like I would change the way the person looks at sadness. I talked to my dad today. It's been the first time in 2 years. I asked him why he stopped talking to me for 2 years, and he said my mom sent him a letter. And then he was like, yeah, I can't talk to you because when I see you, it makes me think of your mom, and I hate your mom. My mom and dad divorced when I was 2, you know? So I was like, why did you leave me with her? So I might cheer them up, or I might make them kill themselves much faster. You know? Because if you call the suicide hotline, like, you know, they'll be like, hey, you know, I feel like the whole world's against me, you know? Like everybody's out to.
Here's my thing. First off, like I said before, you can put the music behind the visual. That's first off. Secondly, I can get it rolling in toward, but especially when you have actual quality audio, you can actually hear the material and there's audible laughter as well. If you're showcasing Casey, these would be simple things. And at this point, we are an hour 4 in, but in all reality, I don't know. I lasted till about 7 minutes before I got pretty bored. Nothing against Casey. I appreciate his stand-up. That part I enjoyed. Good seeing old faces, too, that I haven't seen. What are you going to say, like 10 plus months at least? I've been up to Seattle. It's alright. As I look up and see palm trees around me, and remember once again why I'm doing what I'm doing and where I'm at. But I ain't wasting my money, so let's get the full movie out to this bitches. $8. Crazy. I'd rather just give the money to my buddy, but hopefully he comes back.
Get me, you know? And I'm like, hey man, the world's not out to get you. The world does not give a shit about you. Where everyone is just numbers. We're all numbers. We're just a series of numbers.
He does stand up for people that are getting kind of picked on, I believe, by the wokesters per se.
Yeah, I called her a bitch. Yeah, because if you call a bunch of friends of mine racist, I'm gonna call you what the fuck I want. So I hope you see this video, bitch. Fuck you. In comedy, I've been doing it like, I think almost 4 years, and there's, among many disappointments, the newest disappointment is finding out that Juggalo Jake is a fucking liberal. Get the fuck out of here. The one guy I thought would be like the ally or whatever they call it, the fucking ally, I hate that word anyway. So they treated the fucking liberals in comedy, treated Jake like shit for like 5 years. And he's like, I'm one of you. I'm on your team.
Alabama passed these laws where they were going to throw women in prison for having abortions. And I got on stage and I went something like, Sweet home Alabama, da, 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 da. Keep that baby inside that room, shit like that, you know. And this woman got on stage and she started like angrily ranting about like racists and white supremacists. She wasn't even like trying to be funny, or she wasn't like even trying to crack jokes.
Those abortion jokes, you want to know why they're getting abortions? Do you want to know why they're getting abortions? Because they're getting raped, and you're making fun of those women who are getting assaulted. You selfish pig!
I just fucking like sunk my head down and was just like, Casey got on stage and he said, I don't care who you are, you don't have the right to twist someone's words around and make it out like they were talking about something else when they were not.
Juggalo Jake asked me to give him relationship advice. And I was like, yeah, you might not want to do that. You might want to reconsider, but okay. And he told me he met this lady and they were dating for like 3 weeks, and then she just wanted to be friends, you know? And then she started sending him pictures of a guy she met on like a dating app, you know? Like Tinder or whatever. And then he was getting really fucking mad, you know? And then he wouldn't want to upset her, so he didn't tell her, so he's just staying in his apartment and being mad. And I was like, hey, I got just the thing to say to her. It's gonna fix the whole thing. The next pictures he sends you, just go, hey, that guy Jeff there, he looks like a really nice guy. But why are you trying to get him killed? You know? And yourself. Don't ever fucking send me pictures like that ever again. You know? They just look at that. Don't ever send me pictures like that. As long as you live, do you fucking understand me? And then he was like, that sounds really angry. Is that gonna work? And I was like, no, I mean, she'll probably never talk to you again. That's usually what happens, but it's better than what you're doing. You know what I mean? You don't have to deal with this shit anymore. You know?
We're just a bunch of misfits that became a kind of a family, you know, forced into being like a family due to the pandemic, because we all love this art and want to practice this art.
Hey, my friend, I shouldn't say his name. I wasn't gonna say his name, but he's not here, so fuck him, you know? You know, he's got autism or whatever. Anyway, but he's always like getting mad at me, like screaming at me for like a fucking hour or whatever, because I won't do some fucking thing he wants, you know? And then the next day he'll apologize, you know? And he'll be like, I can't help it, I have autism.
And I'd be like, well, I don't know why autism would stop you from using fucking duct tape. You know, just use duct tape like any other person, you know? Or I'll do it for you next time. Right? It's hard to have sympathy for people with autism because it mimics the actual symptoms of just run-of-the-mill narcissism. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to care, but you're being a fucking asshole, so.
I'm sure you have a running list of things you hate about Casey Judson. I'm curious, what's on your list?
The smell of his car?
When he's happy.
He's too stupid not to have to get into arguments.
Too stupid for sure. I don't know about keeping his mouth shut, but yeah. No, I don't think he's too stupid. I think he's actually pretty smart, and you know, and again, you can't fault somebody who stands up for what they believe in and is not afraid to share their opinion. But yeah, I wish he would shut the fuck up more. That's for sure. I mean, I think a lot of us would, but you can't fault the person who won't.
I heard he hates cats, but that can't be true because I also heard a rumor that he keeps a bunch of dirty cat litter in his trunk of his car.
My dad said to me that opinions are like assholes. You know, and apparently on Facebook, everybody has 6 assholes, which is really weird. You know, so that makes for a lot of shit. You know, if you have 6 assholes. Yeah, there you go, exactly.
I've seen the Facebook situation with another female comedian that I'm not going to name that shouldn't ever went down. He doesn't know how to be cool, especially he doesn't know how to be cool online. So I don't know why old white men have fucking Facebooks anyway, besides fucking be racist or just throw their fucking nose in some shit they don't need to be throwing. They shouldn't. But Casey's one of the motherfuckers, he ain't give a fuck. He likes to go ahead and give his opinion no matter how far-fetched or how crazy it sounded to another person. And he always came from a good place. You know? This asshole, look. You gotta know where the people that are really trying to be assholes and the people that are just assholes by nature because they're ignorant to other people's plight.
Like, I don't understand how he does it. It's crazy. Like, I just don't find time. This guy will literally write 7-page paragraph responses to people. And I'm just like, okay, you know, like that's my response.
There's a lot of drama in the Facebook scene, in the comedy scene here on Facebook in particular. It spills out to the real world, but the drama's mostly on Facebook. And Casey was behind a lot of that drama. And I was always impressed by how humanitarian.
Yeah, give me my popcorn. Also, not gonna lie, getting a little when you get faded in the geeked out type of atmosphere. Alright, this is brought to you by world's most generic popcorn. Might as well just be nibbling on cardboard, but it's good.
His approach was. I kind of thought, not in terms of like caliber, but in terms of philosophy, I always thought of him as a bit of a Kurt Vonnegut character in the scene. Like he had a very critical eye toward a lot of social issues, and it was often adversarial, but he didn't mean it adversarially. I always took it as like a sort of Socratic spirit of inquiry, and I was honestly always kind of fond of reading some of the shit talking that he was doing. Like, I think people would call it shit talking, but to me it looked like a sort of Socratic dialogue where both people involved were talking about something pretty asinine. And I don't have a serious specific anecdote. I always liked watching the way Casey engaged with the community as a philosophical adversary. Not in a villainous sense, but just in the sense of like he was willing to take the licks of being unpopular for the sake of saying what he really thought. A lot of comedians, a lot of people don't really say what they think, and Casey did. Yeah, I was impressed by that.
Yeah, that was real nice of you to say that I've been active on social media. I've been so active on social media that I haven't left social media until just now. You know? Yeah, so I've just been only on social media. I don't know if you noticed, but if you're on social media, it makes you kind of scared. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of looking around, you know, kind of thinking there's like spies in the bushes and stuff.
If you get like one person to care about you at all, you're like pretty lucky, you know? If you don't even one. Usually if we get one person who cares about us, we're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Why are you caring about a lost cause?
Many of Casey's haters ask me similar questions, as if I was the only person that cared about Casey. There are more people that care about Casey Judson than show up to his haters' shows. There's a truth in his material that I relate to that motivates me to excuse myself from the smoke circle, to go inside, take a seat, and participate in his set.
You know, his conviction in who he is as a person.
He's a joy to watch when he's feeling it. When Casey's vibing, you see that smell?
Creative energy he brought to the stage was always interesting. A lot of comedians are very funny, but not all of them are always interesting. He was very rarely funny, but he often was interesting. And I thought once he figured out how to be funny, it would be great.
You know, I can say pretty much whatever I want around him. You know, he's one of those people that, like, I'm not going to get in trouble, you know, because with comedians these days, you know, there's this feeling of like, you know, you're walking into a minefield when you have pretty much any kind of conversation where you're being yourself. So I feel like with that, I don't have to. That's why I like him. That's why I'm friends with him.
Casey was really ridden hard and put away wet, and nobody really knows what his life was like before he did comedy.
When you say you don't know anything about my life, maybe in the 4 years we know each other, maybe just once go, hey, what happened in your life? Like normal people just go, where did it happen in your life? Like normal friends, like they just ask people, so where are you from? Like, what was your childhood like?
You telling me I should ask you?
So I mean, if you're curious, you said you were curious.
Well, you know, he cuts through the bullshit, and a lot of people are, you know, afraid to do that.
Oh, why did you get banned from Northwest Comedy? I'll tell you why. Got banned from Northwest Comedy because he made a funny joke about having a 13-year-old girlfriend, and then a bunch of comics said, we don't say that kind of thing around here. If you come around here, we're gonna commit violence on you. And then he said, I'll defend myself. And then the producers went, defend yourself? That guy's a menace. So that's why he got banned. He got banned because he was threatened. That's why. That's the reason. He told a joke, was threatened, and said he would defend himself. That's why he was banned. Because he's banned because he doesn't have the proper political views. He doesn't understand that there's things you can talk about and there's things you can't. He got banned for being a comic, for being an actual comedian. So that's why he got banned, for saying a funny thing. And they didn't understand it.
I didn't know that he was going through that much shit, so to see him go on stage, I just wish that he would have brought more of his life into it, because that would have been a wonder to fucking see. That would have been a wonder. I think that was like the missing piece. So he was almost, I say he was almost to that point, to where he was almost about to find that missing key of just.
Jake, while Dad came up to me and he's real enthusiastic, you know, he was like, hey Casey, man, have you seen the show To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen? You know, like it's a brand new show.
Warriors at the table!
And I was like, yeah, I saw it 23 years ago when it came out. I watched it like 1.5 times. I hated it. It was a really bad show. Very sad and depressing. Why'd you hate it? And I was like, well, I think you should catch child predators, but I don't think it should be fun. You know what I mean? I was thinking, why doesn't Chris Hansen get tired of catching child predators? Doesn't he ever want to catch like a different type of bad person? You know, like catch a hack comedian? You know? So like Bruce here, for instance, you know, as an example, you know, and he comes to an open mic, you know, and there's nobody there, you know, and he's like, where's everybody at? It's weird. And then Chris Hansen comes from behind the curtain, you know, and he's like, what are you doing here, Bruce? Are you here to meet a 15-year-old lady for sex? And you're like, no, I'm just here to tell jokes. And then Chris Hansen's like, oh shit, it's worse than I thought. Because Bruce's comedy is worse than child molestation.
It's funny because it's true.
Dostoevsky. I eventually read like 12 pages of it. The quote is, the man who lies to himself can be more easily offended than any other man. Anyway, that really pissed me off. You know? Someone at an open mic once said, called me a charlatan. You know? And I was like, don't call me a fucking charlatan. Then I have to go fucking look up charlatan. You know, it's kind of a pain in the ass. And I'm like, oh shit, I guess I am a charlatan. All right. A charlatan is anyone who's holding a mic speaking to people. So
Definitely had a voice that he was, not afraid to share his opinions, which is a very admirable quality that a lot of people don't have. And he never truly didn't care what people thought about him.
Just because you're crazy doesn't mean you're not smart, I guess. You can be. But I think intelligence in the hands of a crazy person isn't nearly as effective for an all-around human being.
The moral of this story is that when a videographer offers to record your performance, say, "Yes'm, please, thank you, sir." You never know. They may turn out to be your David Jandro. If they're any good, they will show you how you appear and sound from the perspective of a common audience member. Who knows, they may inspire you to cut your losses and get out while the getting's good. Or you may take the next step and lean in and improve upon yourself. I've seen it go both ways. Either way, you don't want to stagnate from leaning on the same bland routine for consecutive years to the point that you become known as that crow guy.
Bruce, what is that fucking device you have?
Camera.
You filming this? The fuck is wrong with you? It's right about everything. You're out of control. You're out of control. You better edit the shit out of this. I want this edited, just press delete, actually. That's the kind of edit I want for this set. Just one button. Easy, just delete.
Everywhere I go. Stop. Out there through his eyes, staring at me on a generic open mic.
Fucking dickheads, appreciate your freedom. I am from Michigan. The water is bad. You get to smoke weed outside. Bunch of bougie vegan bitches. I'm tired of this shit, Washington. Alright? You don't even appreciate shit. Y'all were the first ones to get COVID. Y'all was the first ones to get the stimulus checks. Y'all never appreciate any fucking thing. I gotta admit though, y'all got a lot of big booty white women. Y'all can't be bougie.
This one dog that I walk every day, his name's Duke. He's 100 pounds. Which means he's a double bagger, if you know what I mean. And every day, and he's got this problem where he gets into the cat food. So sometimes it comes out a little runny, and the only way I can really pick it up is to sort of mush it along the ground and kind of scoop it up in this thin plastic bag that doesn't hide the smell or the warm sensation of a turd in your hand. I always think to myself, wow, this white privilege thing is really working out for me.
Cultural appropriation has just been the combining of cultures, which has been going on since the beginning of time. We've always done it. We've always stolen from each other. That's actually what cultures are. They're always a combination. It's always a mixture. There's no pure culture. It doesn't exist. Anyway, it's not funny.
I don't know. But I kind of do know, but I don't. There's only so much. There's 24 hours in a day. And I think we've all been experiencing that lately. Because you wake up and then you go to sleep, and sometimes you take naps, and sometimes you eat, and you look in the mirror, unless you don't have mirrors. But there's, people who don't have mirrors don't know what they look like usually, unless they look into water because of reflection. There's reflection. There's reflection and reflection. There's reflection and reflection. Starting to get triggered up here. I've never performed in a park this dark before. Usually when it's this dark and a light shining on me like this, I'm walking the line and saying my ABCs backwards, but...
Let's do a little role play. I'm the two-party system, and you're the American people, and I'm fucking you financially. But don't worry, I'm going to take good care of you. I'm going to supply you with food stamps and welfare, baby. Oh yeah.
So you see, I don't believe that voting for a new president is going to make a difference.
The guy that took all of your money also doubles as a mediocre comedian. Wonderful to be up here. Fun fact about me, you, like many people in my life, when they see me by the door, they actually think I'm a door person. So I want to lose weight. It gets really annoying when people just show you their ID and hand you money. Gets on my goddamn nerves. Fun thing about that though, since you guys assume that I'm a door person everywhere I go, at a bar, at a comedy club, and things like that, I just take, money from you guys. And yeah, this show's actually free. I just robbed you all. Now I know some of you are a little bit upset. You're like, oh my goodness, why'd you take this money? Well, there's mostly white people in here, so we're just going to call it reparations. So we're even.
This is art right now, what we're doing right here. These jokes, this is your patronizing jokes. Thank you for patronizing me as I tell you. These jokes are like my children. Disappointing. I forget them a lot. And my dad doesn't like them because he doesn't think they're mine.
This final poem is about walking 6 feet apart for the first time in the park. Cumulus rolls in bulk. Bittersweet calamity embroils us. Who are we? Two spirits issued forth on the threshold of the park, side by side but never brushing, except to tap elbows in culinary fashion. Hands clean, spirits high on the tide of each other's company, the precipice of the solitary state. Joined, no inclination of what highs and lows the future holds. Just another's presence is enough to refresh the soul, in this time of clinging to the bittersweet fragility of these sticky web days, the fitting of our 8 legs.
I'm glad everybody came out. Shout out to the pizza. Sid, we got some weed to smoke. Let's go ahead and erase all this footage. All right, good. Yeah. Yeah. Someone dropped their phone.
Who needs light?
Hey, Alice, what's going on? It's not my show. No! It's nobody's show, man. I'm just the camera guy. I know everyone's taking my show because everyone just...
I'm gonna put the snap.
Mine lasted like 10 minutes.
Yeah!
And there you have it, folks. I must say, I should have just given Casey the money. I've heard most of his material, but it's always nice to hear him getting laughs. That's important. I keep telling Casey he needs to come to LA. I should do my segment that wasn't on there, right? You don't say. That's strange. Uh-huh. If I test him right now, you're telling me Casey wouldn't answer? Truth be told, sometimes he don't answer. But I've been in contact with him. Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Yeah, sure. How much you pay? Oh, you're not paying. Well, in that case, hard pass. Unless I can get percentages off of sales or something like that. Plus or minus up front. Yeah. That's why he kept all my footage to himself. Super freaky dude like that. Super freaky dude. Super freaky dude. Super freaky. Oh, Casey? Nah, I got no issue. He's difficult, but not really. He's sweet, but also not really. Definitely talented at writing and delivering material on stage and off. But mostly, I like the fact that Casey can turn off the performing side of himself when he's off stage. He mostly is just frustrated with people in general, which so am I. I just different these days because I started them pills. I think maybe I'm not sure. We'll see. Time keep a turning. Yeah. Just an illusion after all. Casey's somebody that I hope comes out to LA. I know Andy's gonna be coming out here in the new year, definitely. Andy Harder, in this movie you just seen. Yeah, he's on his way moving to Texas, but through about way LA. I got some stuff coming up eventually on it. I do need to take care of a few things now. However, it's been a pleasure doing our first watching segment. I feel like it's too long. Could be way shorter, especially if you want to have a narrative to it. The music is distracting, unnecessary, and at most times they're all generic songs. So because he's afraid of getting copyrights because he doesn't have the balls. True independent artists will find a way around it and use real music. Or talented musicians give them the ability to use it. That's what I would do. That's what I do. Speaking of that, I need to make sure that I start putting things forward. It seems like I can handle that. All right. Appreciate y'all. This is how you support people in general. We supported Casey in this film. By default, supported Bruce Bennett. But Bruce, I guess we're no longer running on the schemes, though. In our story plot narratives and stuff. No longer drinking his blood from the chalice. Well, Casey, not me. I guess he's less aggravated or whatever. I don't really care either way. I appreciate all of you, future viewers. And make sure, if you don't appreciate this, now that they're going to get rid of dislike, just put some stuff in the comments. I'll never block no comments. Give me all the dislikes you want. You can even just write dislike. And then otherwise, you can click subscribe and the little bell button if you want. It's up to you, though. What I would say, though, do it right now. Put a thumbs up. That'd be chill. All right, then. Only because you stuck it out, right? Fast forward or not. All right, then. Champions. I think about this, what I'm grateful for, right? You know, beats and definitely. All right, then. Definitely. I'd appreciate you all. Thank you. Most definitely. Real sickly. More like that. Peace and love and everything understood in general.